I'm gonna be doing this a lot, so this is also just I don't do this just to look good, but I do this as a preview for something that may be coming in the future with this gentleman right here who's playing with his dinosaurs. I don't know if that's a Jurassic Park reference or a Firefly reference, but I appreciate that either way.
Well, yeah, Jurassic Park 3 when he's sitting there, doing the
Charlie,
these are carnivores, this.
Anyway, it's the dinosaur man.
3. Hey! How you doing? Thanks for having me tonight. It is.
Frank, you're muted, I think.
No, I can hear him.
No,
I can hear him just fine.
Alex, the garbage man in the chat saying, MC Kratos is saying, MK Kratos says you're muted. Anyway, Fred Savage got kicked off his own show. What do you think?
So, I am a huge Disney lover. I mean, I try to go to Disney as much as I can, and I feel like Disney's just having really bad luck with not only
everything that Mickey Mouse, apparently.
No, I think they got that under control, but
I think you guys can hear me now. I hope so anyway. Somebody let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me.
say a really weird word. If they can repeat what word you just said, then it'll be fine.
Verisimilitude.
Now spell it. No, you're still muted.
Not that.
Like, no, that's what you get for saying a big word.
I honestly like. The thing is, when you work for Disney, you have a lot more on your shoulders than just, you can't be like, a Christian Bale screaming at your employees because somebody walked in on them or did whatever. You do that in a Disney setting, you're pretty much on the chopping block at that moment. So many people have had, God, I'm umming so much. I feel like I should be Ian Malcolm. There I go again.
And I'm just gonna be articulate as hell. It's gonna be fun.
It's just I feel like kind of had it coming. If you're gonna be on set, you're gonna be treating your staff like you're gonna be treating your staff poorly, and you're gonna be acting like an ass. You get treated like an ass and get put in the timeout corner. In which case, this is you're gone.
I'm fixing stuff. Don't mind. That's not a Tesseract. That's not what you see. All right, the Lucky Horns sit on it perfectly, which is kind of nice. It puts a glow on the DeLorean. Look at that; it's kind of awesome.
Hey, I like that.
And then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video is flashing.
And then there's glowing and
running and screaming.
It's like running and screaming.
It's all ooh ah. The wrong movie. We're not there yet. That's next week. The sequel's next week.
That's one of my favorites.
I love that one, obviously.
But yeah,
every week I'm going to try and have something here.
I I can keep this outfit up for at least 2 videos, and I'm like, then what do I do?
You'll get Alan Grant for the first episode. Then past this, you're going to be getting a dinosaur Jimmy Buffett. You'll understand.
Or I can just be the dinosaur that talks to him in his dream. Just Alan. I'll just be that.
Well, getting back on subject now.
It's all these dinosaurs.
This is actually not the first time he's been the subject of misconduct allegations. Actually, in 2018, the Wonder Years actress Allie Mills came forward with claims that the cancellation of the original series followed a completely ridiculous sexual harassment suit filed by a costumer against Savage, who was then 16, and his co-star Jason Harvey, who played his brother, then 20, which Mills, who played Savage's and Harvey's mother on the show, said was settled out of court. The same year, a crew member on Savage's Fox series The Grinder, it was a legal comedy series that he was on for a little while, filed a lawsuit accusing the actor of attacking and harassing her on the set of that series in 2015. At the time, Savage called the allegations completely without merit and absolutely untrue, which is kind of par for the course when you've actually harassed somebody on a TV set. While 20th Television, which produced the show, said that after an investigation into the claims, it found no evidence of wrongdoing by Savage. That lawsuit eventually was settled out of court. I find it funny that you can find no evidence of anything wrong, but still feel like you need to settle out of court. I mean, if you're innocent, why don't you just fight the charges?
Sounds like a case I know.
Yeah. If you're innocent, why don't you just fight the charges? Be like, you know what? I'll pay $20 billion in legal fees just so everybody knows that I'm not some asshole who walks around, like, grabbing women's asses or saying inappropriate shit. But whatever. Cora's in the chat. Hello, Lady Cora.
Hey.
Glad to know that you're doing well. But, yeah, also, this article goes on to say the accusations probably come as a shock to a generation of Americans who grew up with Savage and his hugely popular characters as a child actor. Of course, he was also the grandson of the Princess Bride, which a lot of people know about. Kevin Arnold in the original Wonder Years series. He's done a bunch of stuff since then, especially the Austin Powers, where he was the guy with the mole. But, and I actually put some other stuff on there that doesn't go on there about Jurassic Park because I was probably copying and pasting like a crazy person when I was getting that article done up. Yeah,
Did you cite your sources?
I do actually. I didn't put the articles in the description like I try to do for this one, but I do. But yeah, this is like a recurring theme in Hollywood nowadays, and I've been telling people for a long time that Hollywood is a terrible place for anybody, for any decent human being. It's been an open secret for a long time, and one of the silver linings to the dark cloud that has been the Me Too movement is that it's finally getting out exactly how these people treat other people that are trying to break into the industry. Because it is not a secret. It's widely been discussed. They've even made movies about it, ironically enough, about how in the early days of Hollywood, in the 20s and 30s, if you wanted to land a big movie role or get a contract with one of the studios, even some of these guys who have legendary names in Hollywood, like Cecil B. DeMille and Jack Warner, all these guys are like, hey, why don't you come on up and hang out with me in my office or at my hotel or my penthouse in LA for a little while, and then maybe by the time you leave, you'll have this big role in whatever movie is coming up next. And it's not a secret, and it's just Hollywood's gotten better at hiding it because as a world we've all gotten busier and we've all gotten distracted from it, so they've kind of been allowed to go on the way that they've always gone on, and nobody's really said anything about it until the last several years.
Oh, Mario Batali's currently going through that right now.
Yeah. But
which caught me off guard.
Yeah, it's avoid Hollywood at all costs, people. I mean, don't get into acting. It's just let the whole industry
Guys,
die.
I got a movie deal. No. We liked you.
Yeah, but I had to take
We were all rooting for you.
But I had to take a shot in the mouth from Steven Spielberg, so whatever.
Chosen one. You were supposed to save Hollywood, not destroy it.
Well, I don't know, man. I hope all these people get exposed and get destroyed. They deserve it. Clean Hollywood up, and I don't want it to be full of assholes. But yeah, it's not a small thing, but it's not a surprise either. That's the sad part about it all. I don't know. Any final thoughts on this, you guys, as we move on to the next topic?
I guess you could say it was pretty savage. I wonder
intro. I wonder if in his head he was narrating like Daniel Stern did on the way out. After the meeting where they're like, dude, we got to kick you out of here. We're sorry. He walked out and said, well, every now and again you got to take that little hit because you did something wrong.
Your Mickey Mouse Clubhouse has been revoked.
Yeah. I hate to laugh at it because it's terrible and I don't want it to happen to anybody.
But you gotta have fun with it.
Well, I mean, I like the fact that these people get exposed, they get embarrassed, and then it gets public. So it's like, yeah, good. Let it get public. Tell Hollywood they got to stop acting like assholes towards women and towards people trying to build their career. It's just stupid. Who was it? Terry Crews.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Crews who can bench press a bulldozer. He came out with stories of being sexually harassed as he was coming up. So it's like not even men are safe.
No.
That's the shitty part about it all. It's like they're just assholes to everybody. Then of course there's all the stuff that Corey Haim's been saying for years that people are just finally starting to believe everything he's saying.
Oh, that's ominous as hell. Cora just said, ironically, I was rewatching Jurassic Park right when the storm was hitting the T-Rex paddock when my own power went out. That's immersion. They made that movie
Have you
in
checked
4D.
the goats?
Yeah, if there was a goat, and then there
Where's
wasn't.
the goat?
Yeah. What's the matter, kid? You like lamb traps?
That is kind of funny timing, isn't it?
Yeah. Remember to bust through, it just roars, and then her power goes out. It's like, well.
So several years ago, I went to my dad's plant with him, and they had to reset the power, and that happened where, you know, the big thump, boom, 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 and then, of course, the toll moves on.
That's
and that happened. I was like, my mom said I was in between crying because I was really young. I was in between crying and I was in between like looking out the windows like, where is it? Like, I was so disappointed to know, you know, there wasn't a T-Rex, but apparently it was terrifying.
At least you think it wasn't a T-Rex. We never know.
Don't tease me.
But as always, I care about what you guys think. So get down in the comments below, let us know. What do you guys think about Fred Savage being kicked off the reboot of his own show for apparently acting like an asshole? I'm guessing towards women. It actually didn't specify in the article. But, no, acting like an asshole is acting like an asshole in any way you slice it. So let us know what you guys think of Fred Savage getting kicked off his own damn show in the comments below. And before I move too much farther, I do want to remind you guys we do have both a Patreon and a Discord. The links to these are in the description below. The Discord is a place where we can go and talk about movies all the time, 24/7, even when we're not live on stream. The Patreon, though, is different. The Patreon, you get a chance to win $25 a month in free movie tickets just by donating $5 a month through Patreon. Now, what we do is we usually give this away. I think next Thursday is going to be our giveaway for this month. But what we do is if you're a Patreon member, you donate $5 a month. We put your name in a hat for a drawing where we give you $25 to go see a movie. Now, what we do is we don't really want to promote the movie production companies making more money. What we're trying to do is get people back to the theaters. People are feeling more and more comfortable going out to the theaters now that we're getting closer to the end of the pandemic. We're at a full release slate of movies now. Production releases are all kind of going at full steam. So we're not looking at any more theater closures, at least fingers crossed for the time being. So I want to get people back to the movie theater to help support the people that work at the box office, that work at the concession stand, just to get people back out there enjoying the theater experience. There are some great movies coming up. We've already had a couple come out recently. Jurassic World Dominion is coming out soon. That's going to be a great movie. A couple more Marvel movies coming out this year. Just want to get people back out there enjoying the theater experience. And hopefully that's what Patreon's going to do. It's going to help support us financially, and it gives you a chance to get out and get to see some movies on us. So if you'd like to, go down in the link you see on your screen and support us on Patreon. And let's see, what is our next story? I usually have Corey here to do all this reading stuff for me.
In the car.
But the next story is we have a wrap on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. According to filmmaker James Gunn, that is. The writer and director took to Twitter on Friday to announce that he had wrapped principal photography and also teased that the Marvel film will feature an appearance from an as-yet unannounced actor. While the superhero pic's plot has been kept under wraps, past installments have followed the half-human, half-alien Peter Quill, a.k.a. Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt, and his gang of intergalactic criminals as they've looked to fend off various threats to their universe. Volume 3 will be the third and final in Gunn's series of Guardians films. Jeremy, what do you think we're going to be getting from the third Guardians of the Galaxy film?
We are definitely getting an awesome mix Volume 3, and I cannot wait to buy it. I bought a working Walkman and one that does not work. That's just that one might just be a shelf prop. However, I bought both of those soundtracks on cassette tape, and I will not lie that I have been jamming out to it every once in a while. So I'm curious to see what's on that, and I can't believe that is the one not really obscure, but the one thing that I pulled away from that. Also kind of curious to see how much Thor is involved with this, I suppose, right? Because he's still with them, but then we still have Thor Love and Thunder, where he's, I guess, doing his own thing, but those little trailers have him in it with the Guardians, so I don't know how. I don't know. Nick Fury's in space, so I'm wondering if maybe that finally ties into how that ended from WandaVision. Maybe that's where this all goes.
I hope he's found his shoes by now.
I don't know.
I hope Nick Fury pulls out a fucking purple lightsaber and he's like, "It's time to go, motherfuckers."
And last we saw him, he was still on the ship of the. Yep, those guys.
The Kree.
The Piccolo. Thank you. I was going to say the Piccolo race, and he was chilling like a villain, and he had no shoes, and he was like, "Where are my shoes?" And maybe that's why he wasn't in any of the past movies.
Honey, where's my super shoes?
Because he can't find his damn shoes. That's what's wrong.
Right.
I'm kind of curious as to who this unannounced actor is. I think that's kind of because, like, the fact that the film wrapped in and of itself is not necessarily a big deal, but the idea of an unannounced actor, is it somebody from the MCU we've seen already, or is it someone who's going to be getting introduced to the MCU for the first time?
Right.
We bring Tony Stark question. Okay.
Now, when he came up on Twitter, he did write, and that's a picture wrap on Guardians of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. I love this amazing cast and crew and their beautiful talent and kind souls. I'm a lucky human to have them on this journey with me for nearly a decade. While Zoe Saldana, who played Thanos' adopted daughter Gamora, is in all 3 films, she was not in that particular picture. So Gunn was quick to note that the actress was in fact on site for the wrap celebration, because he put in parentheses, and yes, Zoe was with us, he wrote, but the only picture I have with her has an unannounced actor with us. Leaving the imagination who the unannounced actor is.
So so Gamora's not in Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
She is. The picture that he put of the entire crew did not have her in it, and it caused some speculation.
Okay.
So when he realizing that people were panicking, he went back to Twitter and responded and said, "No, she is here. She's in the movie. She wasn't in that picture because the only picture I had of her was with another
She's
actor.
not here. She's filming Avatar.
She probably was.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's filming Avatar.
Well, so this is that 2014 Gamora, correct? The one that we went back and...
Yes. The Gamora that exists in the MCU now is the Gamora from the past, because the Gamora that we came up with was tossed off the tower by Thanos.
Yeah, she kind of took a little tumble off the cliff.
In the Marvel fake death universe. Nobody dies in Marvel anymore. That's a whole other argument in of itself. But I am wondering, because I'm curious now, because... No, Cora, I don't think it's Deadpool. This would be the movie to put Deadpool, though. It's like, because I was predicting that Deadpool might show up in a post-credit scene of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But it made sense that he's not there. It actually makes more sense he would be in this, because this is much more comedic than Doctor Strange is supposed to be. So, I don't know. But I'm wondering, because I'm left with a lot of questions after Doctor Strange 2. I don't think they're going to answer a lot of the questions that we were left with in that movie, because they're very different films. They tend to not intertwine until they get to the point where they're fighting like the bigger threat, like a Thanos. So I can't imagine that anything that went on over the course of Doctor Strange is going to affect them that much. So I'm wondering. Because we did just get, who we got in the post-credit scene. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. But we did get who we got in the post-credit scene. We did get who we got in the post-credit scene, but I don't imagine that person would show up in this movie. Doesn't make any sense. It's got to be someone new to the MCU. I wonder if we might get our first movie.
I know there's talk of Adam Warlock. I don't know if he was in anything in the guard or the.
But he is in this movie. They actually know who. What's the name of the guy? I forget the name of the kid.
All I know is he's the kid who got bit by a spider on his penis.
Yeah, that kid.
In that one, in Meet the Millers.
Yeah, that kid.
And he passed up. Yeah, that guy.
Nice.
That's the one I hope they bulked him up to play Adam Warlock, because he's awfully scrawny. But that's not an unknown actor, though. That's not an unnamed actor. He said, but the only picture I have with her is an unannounced actor with us. So it's somebody they haven't announced yet.
Well, it doesn't mean it's someone that we don't know. It's just we don't know who it is.
True.
Interesting.
Like you said, it could be Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. We just didn't say anything. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know. But this is all happening off Earth, though, and Deadpool doesn't really have any story that takes it. Well, in the comic books he might, but in the MCU anyway, there probably isn't a story that makes sense that takes him off Earth until he's actually been in the MCU for a while.
Well, it doesn't make sense to put Jason Voorhees in space either, but whatever, that happened.
Well, that's true. I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
I'm just saying. But that was a fun movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I want to speculate a little bit on this, but I don't know where to go. It's got to be, because this is the last Guardians movie, as far as anyone knows.
Yeah.
So...
Fuck you, Casey.
Last Guardians movie, probably not.
Sorry.
Probably not the last time we'll see them, but probably the last movie they'll be in.
Well, it's the last one they've got planned. This movie could come out, blow up, and then they're like, oh, okay, maybe Volume 4 is in the works somewhere. So
yeah.
I'm sure they've got ideas.
I'm really
another mixtape.
Yeah.
I've got myself really nervous about it because they keep hinting that we're gonna lose somebody. Because as funny you say, like the whole they don't kill anybody in the MCU anymore. But this guy went into detail showing all the logos, and he was like, in the first movie they lost Groot, and Guardians of the Galaxy had plot twist or spoilers if anybody hadn't seen it. Which if you haven't, you're a moron at this point. The logo had like little bits of green somewhere mixed in there. Second movie had like a red and blue kind of a style to it, and we lost Yondu. And now this one has like a mix of like different colors. Someone was said, "Oh, well, this looks like Rocket's jacket." And I'm like, if you fucking kill Rocket, I will no longer watch Marvel.
Well, they have said that there's going to be some significant deaths in this movie, at least one.
Well, I was gonna say like we already lost Gamora technically, and then Groot, he's the tree. I mean, it's like you can't grow him back. So we lost ones that. Well, Gamora, it's like I don't know how you were gonna reel back from that, but Groot is a tree. With everyone else, though, I don't know.
Drax is the only one that I can think of that. I mean,
I was gonna say
I know
too.
to my knowledge, Rocket has never died in the comics except for actually never. So that's just to my knowledge. So I don't think they would. They tend to focus. They do kind of hold on to how things go in the comics and everything. So they don't try to like kill people off. It's like, wait, no, hold on now. But I could see them trying to change it up. So it's like, we see how it's going to happen. That's why I hated going to see Infinity War, or no, what was it? Infinity War with a few friends, because they're like, oh, he's going to die, and he's going to die, and he's going to die. And lo and behold, they all die in the order my friend was saying. I'm like, why the fuck you got to run your mouth like that?
You're a wizard, Harry.
What do you mean Harry Potter goes to Hogwarts? I never read the books. No, it's...
Started from the cupboard, now we here.
I don't know who all we could kill off at this point and not ruin. It's, you get people who are heavily attached to these characters, and when you kill them off, it's kind of like, well, I don't want to watch this anymore. So they need to be careful who they just decide to kick off.
That is exactly how you can tell somebody is or is not a fan of The Walking Dead.
Let's speculate on this for a minute. Just thinking about the graphic that I had up a second ago. I'll put it up here again so everybody at home can check it out. Let's speculate for a minute. What would you say the percentage is that Groot dies?
None.
None? Okay. Jeremy, what about
None.
you?
I'm sorry, I'm watching chat. Who? What's the question?
What do you think the chances are that Groot dies? That Groot is the big death, rather.
Nah.
He's still teenage Groot. They wouldn't do it.
That's what I was going to say. Which one is this? Is this still teen Groot?
He was teenage Groot last we saw him, but now he's probably aged it more into adulthood.
Okay, I was going to say, is he like maybe a young adult Groot now? Okay.
I know they showed him in the trailer for Thor Love and Thunder, and he was still awkward teenage years.
I wish they would just let him
grow
all the way
again. Tree, man.
I actually learned the other day that this isn't the original Groot. Everybody thought that when he died, they brought him back to life. It's not. It's a completely different Groot. It's not even the same one. And that actually it was the director who came out and said, like, nope, this is not the original Groot. This is a different Groot entirely.
Well, that's
how his race.
They're still paying Dom Toretto $1 million a movie to come up there and say 3 words.
I would do it.
It's all about family.
But let's move on to Drax for a minute. What do you think the chances are that Drax is one that dies?
75%.
How about you, Jeremy?
I
Are you
might go
reading chat again?
No, I'm like staring at the poster, just kind of like looking at everybody. I would give it a little lower. I don't want to be that guy and say 50-50, but I was.
You know what? I'm going to be with you on that one.
My instinct wanted to say like
50-50.
60. I'm like, it could be, it's possible, but like I'm looking at somebody who I'm like, I'm more certain you might be the one who would die because it kind of makes more sense.
I think it's probably 50-50 for Drax because
Yeah.
Batista's been making a big deal out of the fact that he's done playing Drax.
I was like, and he's been doing other stuff. That's why I was rolling it in my head. Like, he's gone off and done other things. So.
I want to say it's 50-50. I want to say it's higher than that, but I think it's probably 50-50.
That's what I was going to say. I'll stick with 60.
I'm going to say 50%. I can't make a guess right now. Maybe as I get closer to Guardians 3, I'll change it, but I can't think of anything right now. What about Gamora?
No. You already killed her. Nah. You're not gonna you're not just gonna kill off 2014 Gamora now too. Like,
well, sure they can.
I didn't think.
Again, it ain't The Walking Dead, like I said. I'm just saying, you already kind of went through that with her. It seems kind of
Hold a blade to her throat. Hi.
If you're just gonna keep killing her, like, I don't know.
I'm Thanos.
Hi, I'm Thanos, and welcome to Jackass. I call this one the Soul Stone backflip. Woo! You know what I mean?
That's messed up.
It's messed up, but I'm saying we've been there.
I think it makes perfect sense. Look, I would give it a better chance that Gamora is going to die than Drax. I'm willing to go as high as like 65% on that. I feel like she's going to think that she didn't belong in that time anyway, so it's going to come to the point where she's going to have to sacrifice herself to save either Star-Lord or the entire rest of the team, and she's just going to do it.
Technically, she does, because she did already exist, but not yet. Is time travel fun?
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's going to think to herself, I'm supposed to be dead right now, but I was brought back from the past when my future past self, God, I hate time travel, was thrown off the fucking cliff to get the Soul Stone.
You're telling me Back to the Future is bullshit?
So I'm not supposed to be here. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice myself because I'm not supposed to be alive in this time anyway. So I think it's a possibility. I'm going to say like 60%.
I've got my death lineup, and I guarantee it's going to happen. I've got it. But we'll continue with this.
Cora seems to think it's going to be Star-Lord. Let's get to him since he's next. What's the odds that Star-Lord dies?
30.
I would place that higher. That would be kind of wild. I mean, because if we're going to end this, and then you end... I mean, I hate to be like, this is going to be a Paul Walker thing. You just kill off Star-Lord, and then, well... That kind of takes care of the whole, like... Gamora's like, yeah, you're totally my not future boyfriend person. I don't know. Never heard of you.
No, that would piss me off if he finally got... If he got 2014 Gamora to fall in love with him after all the bullshit we had to put up with to get those two together. We finally ship them, and then she's just like, yeet, I forgot to fly. You get them to fall in love again, because I'm about that. I'm all about shipping Gamora, Gamora Lord. Gamora Lord sounds pretty damn cool, actually. You do that, and then he'll be like, oh, what? Dead.
I mean, I feel like if you, like you said, if you thought maybe Gamora's life was in danger, I feel like he would, no doubt, like sacrifice himself to save her and also maybe even the rest of the crew. Like I don't doubt that.
And then
that would
Thor will be the new Star-Lord.
And here's the thing.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die and then go to the Mushroom Kingdom. It'll be fine.
They said it's a significant death.
That's what I'm saying. If it was anyone, I would say him.
Now, and I'll move on to the next one now on the picture. I'll move on to Mantis. She's not significant. I mean, she didn't even show up to the last movie.
But that's what makes me think about her.
She's a funny character. She's not beloved, but her death wouldn't be significant.
No. People love her just because she's innocent.
Yeah,
she's weird.
Well, she's innocent. She's a different kind of comic relief in a comedy movie, which is funny. But then you've got what's her name? Gamora's sister. Nebula. I don't know why I'm trying to blank on the name. Nebula. I think
where I'm going next.
Nebula might be significant, but I don't think so either.
That was the one I was gonna say. Like, because she's actually, I thought she was a little bit more of a bigger deal, and it'd be kind of a big deal if she ended up dying. That's where
Drax and Gamora, or Drax and Nebula. Those are my two.
I would say Star-Lord and Nebula.
What about Rocket? Let's get to Rocket real quick. What do you guys think? Is Rocket the one that goes down?
I don't want him to be the one.
He better fucking not.
That would suck,
I hope the fuck you don't.
Yeah, that would also be pretty significant because people love him. So I don't know.
I don't know. Bradley Cooper has not said a word
Yeah,
to
I was
my
gonna say.
knowledge about like, oh, I can't. I'm gonna miss
True.
playing Rocket, or it was nice while it lasted.
True.
Not a word has been said.
But it
gonna go
wouldn't be
arm.
that shocking to hear any of them come out and say this because this is supposed to be the last Guardians movie. And there's
That's what I'm
not
saying.
really any plans for a big mashup. I mean, we know that they're going to be in Thor a little bit. Then they're going to be in this Guardians. And then after that, we don't know if they have plans to use any of the Guardians.
It wouldn't surprise me with Thor if they're in it at the very beginning or something, dropping him off because he's still kind of in the. From what we saw, he still looked kind of like Fat Thor at the moment. So maybe it's just, hey, we're just dropping you off on this planet, dude. Like, we're out, and then that's all we get of the Guardians, which would suck, but
maybe
it'd be cool to have like a little.
They drop it back off at Asgard again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. If we kill Rocket, I'll be. I don't know. I'll cry. I will be a grown man crying over a CGI raccoon.
That one would break my heart the most. I'm not gonna lie. So.
Well, yeah, because you had Rocket
on how he dies.
True.
Sacrificing himself to save Groot.
Because, I have a feeling that whoever dies, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be a sacrifice death.
They always do that. That's how it's always been.
He had to watch Groot be snapped away. You know what I mean? So now it might be.
You know what? We think about it this way. Rocket has seen Groot die twice. He was there, and I'm telling you, usually no man cries unless Rocket cries. He cries in the first movie. Tears came pouring out of my eyes, Corey's eyes, and Philip's eyes. We go and we see the second one, or when when Groot got Thanos away or blipped, whatever. There were multiple people going, no, like in the theater, like poor Groot. They're not gonna. I honestly think it's gonna be horrible because we're going to hear, and if this actually happens, I'm going to eat my own hat. Not that one because I like that one. But if it's Rocket laying on the ground dying and Groot's just like, Rocket, I will lose it. I will quit. He
actually says something else. Yeah.
He has said one other word apart from I am Groot. And that is we. He has said the word we. And he's not going to say I am Rocket. He's going to say Rocket or I love you something. Dude, I'm telling you, it's going to be a tearjerker. I remember when Marvel brought everybody out in costumes and you got to skip school to go to a midnight release and you wore your costumes that were too tight and whatever and eating popcorn and stuff. And now you're going, it's like, okay, how hard am I going to cry this time? Like, it's just.
Is there an option higher than good?
Well, no, but not that I put in there anyway. But I mean, if you like it, put good. I should have had that in there for the beginning of the stream. I just forgot to do it.
I got it.
But,
I already voted.
So Brooding Gamer, what do you think? I mean, give me the top 2 or 3 people that you think are definitely going down. They're the highest percentage of being the ones who are the big death in this movie.
Drax, Nebula, and Rocket. Those are my 3. In that order. Of the most likely to not be likely.
Jeremy, what about you?
Are we doing the 3 that we think are gonna?
Yeah, try to rank them from most likely to least likely for the 3 of them.
I'm gonna go flip a light on because I'm outside today.
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna. I was waiting. I'm like, you're eventually gonna start. The sun's getting real low. I'll start from the bottom. 3rd. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll put Drax 3rd. Maybe I'll still put Star-Lord 2nd, and then Nebula 1st. I don't know. I'm just purposely leaving Rocket out because I don't want to go through that.
I personally think I think there's 3 people that makes the most sense to me. My third most would be Nebula. I feel like there would be some significance to her death. I don't see them killing Groot. I don't see them killing Rocket. I don't think those would be significant enough deaths. Maybe Drax. I don't think so. I don't think Mantis is all that. I don't think that would instill that much
Nah.
that much emotion. But so that kind of leaves the three people. I think Nebula is probably the third most likely. Second, I would put Gamora, but I really do think it's going to be Star-Lord.
I could see that. I had a hard time. I was like, I don't know who I want to put first because that would be a big bomb drop if like he suddenly died. Because I mean, if this is it, and then having him go out in some fashion.
Yeah. I think he said significant death. That's the word that gets me, is significant. That's the word that I think is the biggest clue here. And again, like I said, Rocket and Groot, they would be kind of shocking, but not necessarily significant. Mantis, not significant at all. So I think that just leaves Star-Lord, Gamora, and Nebula.
Mm-hmm. And I said Nebula because I'm like, well, they were both daughters of Thanos, but Nebula had that weird. I have two of me in two different times kind of crap going on, and I'm like, okay. And she was hardwired to be different. I don't know.
That's my guess, anyway. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. Who do you think is most likely to be dead in Guardians of the Galaxy? And who do you think is going to be the surprise actor that they haven't announced yet? I really do think it's going to be someone new that's going to be new to the MCU. I don't think it's going to be anyone we've already seen. It's not going to be Chris Evans in a cameo or showing up out of somewhere or whatever bullshit. It's not going to be, well, I mean, Iron Man's dead, so it's not going to be Tony Stark. I don't think it's going to be anybody we've already seen. I think it's going to be a new character, because that's what they're big on right now in the MCU, is they're trying to set up for whatever is going to be next. We're done with the Infinity Saga, so we're going to move on to deep into Phase 4 and see what's coming next. They're not looking back all that much. So I feel like it's going to be someone new that's going to be around the MCU for a while. I don't think it's going to be an old person. An old character, rather. But that's just my thoughts on it all. But go down in the comments below, let us know what you guys think. Because we care about what you guys think. I'm trying to kill some time until Brooding Gamer gets back before I move on to the next topic. But it doesn't really matter, because the next topic is going to be Jeremy's unboxing.
Okay.
So, Jeremy,
why don't you just do that? Yeah.
what do you got going on for your unboxing? You're a couple weeks behind. You've probably got about $5,000.
You're a couple weeks behind now. Yeah.
You've probably got about $5,000 worth of gear that you need to unbox right now.
Yeah, there's about $5,000 worth of gear just behind me. Jesus. And in front of me. So we have a bag. And I did rearrange. I finally did do my top 8, which I'm now calling my pop 8. If you're of a certain age, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And there are actually 2 in there that you have not seen because I was getting tired of waiting, but they're in there, so I will show those in a second. And of course, they're on the bottom row. Damn it. Let me just them real quick. So I don't know why I keep pre-ordering things, especially if I pre-order them, and then when I keep asking, is it here? No. Is it here? No. Is it here? No. Why is it in every shelf in every store I've seen? I just have to keep. I so many times now I've pre-ordered something and then just bought it off a shelf because I saw it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to wherever I had it and cancel that pre-order. So I bought this from some place that sells pops and all kinds of toys and crap back in December, like December 16th. Nothing. Saw it on the shelf. I'm like, fuck it, I'm buying it. One of the coolest ones is hooded Luke Skywalker with the lightsaber from Mandalorian in the hallway. Nice. It does glow in the dark. This is dope. I love it.
That's still one of the best scenes that's come out of Star Wars.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best.
So I just want to interrupt and say it pisses me off that my dad is working the KISS show tonight at the Nutter Center or whatever center, and he says, "Oh, Keith Rogers, what the fuck? Gene Simmons just patted me on the shoulder."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty awesome.
I want to be there.
Yeah,
I would have been there, but I couldn't justify spending $400 on a ticket.
Yeah, right.
That shit was expensive.
Hell, they were 30 minutes late tonight.
Yeah,
I don't rock band. They're always late.
I want to rock and roll all night and party every day too, but shit. All right. This is. I already showed Brooding Gamer this one because I gave him an exclusive sneak peek at this. This just threw me the hell off. Right. This threw me the hell off because I was not expecting this to look like this. This is Gandalf the White, but you notice how different this box looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really cool. This is an Earth Day exclusive. This is all like 70% recycled material. It's kind of cardboard like, but I'm like, it weirdly fits his aesthetic. It looks like old parchment paper, like, you know, you're about to go on a RPG with your buddies and your hobbits and all that crap. But like, this is cool. I like this box a lot, and I would not be mad if they all looked like that going forward.
You're right. I'd do it. I'd sell all my pop figures and buy them all again just in that box.
I would not, because you can obviously see how many I have behind me. Gotta put and speaking of top 8, I'll just tell you who the first one is. It's no shock to anybody that it's President Loki.
Duh.
Who the hell is that guy?
That would be the best person that's ever existed in, I guess, the multiverse or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not done, son. Oh no, Junior.
Oh.
I am not even. Oh, you didn't see it. We usually do this every week or so.
You weren't even here.
I have 3 weeks worth of shit to get through, and I'm gonna just fire these bitches off. Okay. Speaking of Loki, I have to get the knife out for this one. Where's the thing? Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. No, I do not. Okay.
Real Loki would have been more prepared.
But do it. Necessarily plan things out. Kind of let them happen.
I'm not really much of a plan guy.
I was President Loki in the last room, so I mean, whatever.
Do I look okay in this light, by the way?
I mean, you kind of look like the opening of the movie, like at the night time, and you got the some dog comes by and something happens. Shoot! I don't know.
Joffrey!
Why is he sitting sideways? That's really weird. I thought his head was turned. One that doesn't exist, well, it exists, but does not exist in the lineup on the back because he's actually sitting on Kid Loki's shoulder. But they have one specifically just for Alligator Loki, because of course they do.
Nice.
Why not? He's adorable as shit.
You got him!
I did get him.
Loki.
What the hell is an alligator in here? He's a Loki! And then he proceeds to lose his fucking hand, which... oh, God.
I wouldn't mind having a Penny the Pooh pop figure. That'd be kind of awesome.
Give me 3 days.
Hey, man, you can get some... you can cut some shit, actually. It's up in the other box. Yeah, this box, I believe, is for an entire pop. That's... Given who it is, I mean, I don't know if it's really that important, but... Oh, there's instructions on how to open the box. Okay, well, here's my instructions. It's called this knife. Watch, I cut it right in half. I'm gonna be really mad.
Have parent supervision, boys and girls.
Yeah, I'm an unsupervised adult, and that's the scariest thing. That's scarier than any park with dinosaurs in it.
Now, hold on now.
Come on, you motherfucker.
Toddler with a pair of scissors. Pretty much just a velociraptor. Both are unpredictable and cannot be trained.
Just kind of running around at this point. Okay, and he's even got plastic wrap. Amazing. Oh, you know what I didn't put up on this shelf, Frank? I still have that. I showed it to you. I still have that statue of Mubi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I need to put him up on the shelf. That's one thing I do not regret buying. This being wrapped in plastic reminded me of that. And I'm like, see, it was wrapped in plastic. I'm like, that probably makes it more valuable, but should I open it that way, or should I leave him in it because you can't really appreciate him if he's in the plastic? I don't know. I should put it with my Kevin Smith pop. Like, right? Oh, that'd be cool. I'll have to rearrange all the crap here in a second. Again. Okay, now that I finally got his ass out of there, his pretentious ass. I bought this on accident because I put it in my cart, and then I saw something for the con for President Loki that I was like, I had to buy that. I had to buy it right now. And I forgot he was in my cart. I was going to get it anyway. But just for the memes, you the best music. It's DJ Khaled. Another one. And I can do that joke now with Pops. I can pull him out and be like, another one. So.
I finally got my Post Malone pop figure in, so that was cool.
That's how heavy that alligator Loki is. Get bored. Yeah. 4 left, I believe. And this massive pile of crap that's probably up in front of me is not cool. I thought it was
clean up your workspace, kid.
Hey, look, man. So another one that I was like, I know it wouldn't make sense if they didn't, this whole show, if they didn't make these characters have something that was iconic about what they did in the show, or not really iconic, but something that doesn't make them just look like normal characters. But my favorite character from Friends, obviously, is Chandler Bing, because if you don't realize, I am literally that person. But it's when he dressed up for Halloween. Frank's mad because he grew up in that time. I was like, ew, that show.
That show's
Anyway.
overrated. It's got funny
It's
episodes,
not.
but it's overrated.
You're overrated. So, somebody who is definitely not overrated, I dare you to say that, because then I will come find you. They kept sitting on this one for a while, and I saw it in that same store when I said I was like, fuck it, I don't know why I pre-order stuff anymore. But my first black and white pop, and it is of Miss Marilyn Monroe with the dress.
I thought it was Betty White for like 2 seconds.
That would be kind of cool, actually. Nah, but it's Marilyn Monroe with her little dress just going right up. I'm kind of surprised they didn't put a little base underneath her with the sewer grate. That kind of would have made more sense.
I kind of want that, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like, if anyone, you would definitely want. Trust me. I sat there and stared at this in my cart for so long, and then when I saw it in the store, I was like, fuck it, I have to do it.
There's a guy on Etsy making ghost pop figures of all like passed away.
Oh, that's cool.
Where there's like known like spiritual activity for certain actors and actresses, like, and he makes them. I mean, they're all 3D printed, but he's got them kind of like in the Haunted Mansion style or something else. Harry Potter ghost.
You do have a Star Wars style too. You make the Force Ghost.
They don't have that already?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Anywho, since I also just now realized why Frank said that, because he thinks everything from the 90s is overrated, but fuck his opinion. We have someone else from the 90s that I absolutely love. It's Dexter. Not the serial killer, but I'm pretty sure that could be canon since his sister annoys him so much he probably would become a serial killer. Just with bigger toys.
I didn't say they were overrated. I said the 90s sucked.
That's that different. What? Hey, just like I told you, like around when we first met, I came from the 90s and I'm pretty awesome. All right.
90s gave us Jurassic Park and Dunkaroos.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Oh my god. Anyway, we got Dexter. Fucking squirrel is a nut. All right. I guess also from the 90s, since good lord, how many things? No, just those. Like things from the 90s that I have this time.
Oh, I've got this big ass silhouette of a Giganotosaurus on my chest.
That actually looks. That's the thumbnail. Just that. Yeah, like just projecting across his chest. That's kind of awesome.
Why can't it be you? You're my favorite. Damn.
Anyway, probably actually the heaviest one that I was not expecting. Who recently retired from the world of wrestling. My favorite wrestler, The Undertaker, with his iconic purple outfit. And you can't see it. This bitch is heavy as shit because he's actually sitting in the coffin and he's coming out of it.
Oh, okay, nice. That's cool. Jeremy,
you
you would like a show that just came on called Young Rock.
Oh,
and it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson's history of how he became. They have all these actors that play different wrestlers, and they had Randy Savage on the other night. But they have The Undertaker in there in the background. He's just standing in a corner staring at people. It's hilarious.
So this is like that iconic moment when he died and he came back to life, and that's his iconic purple suit.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's badass.
This is heavy as shit because I didn't realize why. I was like, why is this so heavy? Oh, a whole coffin.
You're in a coffin.
Yeah. So that's cool. Also, I'm about to spank this motherfucker because I don't like the way he's talking to me. Anyway, go on. That was it.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Not you.
Oh, Ian, please. Don't tell Ellie.
Plenty of wrestling fans in this community are probably like, ooh, my boner just started to tweak a little bit.
Yeah, well, I walked into a GameStop and my boner tweaked a little bit, and I was right in the front door. That's what that was. I'm like, damn it.
Dude, come on. Can you even get through the door before we have to kick you out? Come on. Can I buy that first?
There were children in there. No.
Did you show the one that your mom got you? She's been asking in the chat to make sure that you show that one.
What?
I wish my mom bought me pop figures.
Oh no, her birth. No. I know exactly what you're talking about. Hold on. Wait. What are we doing next?
We're getting some heavy dinosaur talk next.
That's perfect then. Okay.
Out dadgum time.
So
I'm wearing this hot outfit outside for nothing.
Since DJ Kraft likes plastic so much,
I went silent.
Anyway, I got more plastic. I've been meaning to show this off. I kind of got this as a joke. I saw this on the shelf, and I bought this for my mom for her birthday. Because she's always wanted a Jeep, and I was like, well, Jeep, we're doing Jurassic Park. It works perfectly to segue into that. But I did get her the little Lego Jeep Rubicon, the little winch on top. I love it. It goes over terrain. It's got
Nice.
springs in the back.
I love that.
You can turn the wheels. You can roll the winch out. You got the engine. Doors open up. The little seat comes off in the back. Or folds down. The spare tire comes off. So
I love it.
Speaking of Jurassic Park, yeah, that's. I said she always wanted the Jeep. I was like, well, guess what? I got you a Jeep. You're welcome.
Love me.
So there's that. I'm sorry. I'm an adult and the world is depressing, and I like to do things that make me feel happy. I'm sorry that your life is so goddamn depressing that you can't be happy yourself. Anyway, Jurassic Park.
Well,
Let's move on.
all right then.
I'm somebody that plays Satan in a haunted house. You want to keep fucking with me? Because it'll happen.
Jeremy is not as in tune with how to handle this community as me and Cora are sometimes.
I will quote somebody that I absolutely love to watch, who streams, and has also been put into a video game. I don't trust streamers or anyone online that isn't at least a little bit toxic. I'm like, see?
I don't have time
I'm
for
a
that
nice
kind of
person.
nonsense.
I'm a nice person. I just don't deal with bullshit. You can go take your life and live it whatever way you see fit somewhere else. And let me enjoy what I want to enjoy. I don't do it for you. I do it for me.
So tonight's beer of choice.
I just looked the fuck out there. Looked at Cora, just got him.
You're killing me. What's the beer of choice tonight?
That's what you get, you dumb fucker. You found out.
Bud Light Lime. Bud Light Lime.
No fruit and beer. Didn't you see
No fruit and beer, but that's actually not bad.
Beer.
Technically, lime is not a fruit; it's just a garnish. Okay, you just.
What if it's like? What's that Blue Moon shit where it tastes kind of like an orange, like citrusy?
It does not taste like an orange. It tastes like if a horse pissed. If a horse pissed in a bucket.
Look,
that already had something else in it.
I don't mind Blue
liquor.
Moon beer, but it's like once in a while. If I have my choice of beers, I'm usually going after like a Gilling, something dark, a little bit of a lager. I'm a lager guy.
I haven't tried a dark lager since COVID. The only reason I'm drinking beer is because, like I said, COVID hit me like a truck twice, and now I like beer. So, wonder what else. Maybe I have a sudden urge to fly a plane now.
Yes, Cora, definitely ordered. Although that was a GameStop exclusive, I don't know if that one will be. There are different versions of him. There was one that has like him now with the bandana. There was one, I think, an older one, and I'd never seen that one where him coming out of the coffin. So I don't know. Yeah, Legos are all made out of recycled plastic. You stupid fuck. Makes a cool display. Yes, it does. I'm reading it. Thank you, Alex. I already. Yeah, he got deleted into the fucking multiverse. Damn, I need that. Oh, that'd be even funnier.
What is it that happened in Loki when they got tased or whatever it was? They didn't die. They got sent to some like shit dimension or something like that.
Oh, they got pruned.
That was it. Pruned.
Yeah. Oh my god, he did. Well, I was gonna say I need the Iron Gauntlet so I could just like snap somebody away. Goodbye.
That's a fun thing to do.
Oh, it would be.
But moving on, now that Jeremy's unboxed, gotten untold numbers of dollars in pop figures.
Hey.
Now we get into the heavy dinosaur discussion of the episode. And according to Chris Pratt, Jurassic World Dominion will be the final installment of the Jurassic franchise. The end of 2018's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom teased a civilization in which humans and dinosaurs are forced to coexist. With this latest Jurassic World installment set to explore this idea. The reboot of Steven Spielberg's beloved 1993 classic Jurassic Park introduced Pratt's Owen Grady and Bryce Dallas Howard's Claire Dearing, and now the pair are set to reprise their roles as they first brought to screens back in 2015. The third installment in the Jurassic World franchise and sixth Jurassic film overall We'll see the return of Spielberg's legacy characters, Dr. Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, Dr. Ellie Sattler, played by Laura Dern, and Dr. Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum. Dominion's position as the third film in the Jurassic World trilogy meant that many anticipated this could be a good buy for these characters, and now Pratt has seemingly confirmed that this will be the case. So tell me, Brooding Gamer, what do you think about Pratt's comments that this is it for the Jurassic World franchise?
So, on my own channel, I actually did a video discussing what comes next, because this is not a franchise, that you can just be like, all right, we're done. Because think of it as Star Wars. We finished our last Star Wars movie, and you're kind of like, well, now what do we do? And then comes the world of spinoffs. I had some very depressing. Let me move my hat. I think that's actually hitting quite a big shadow. It was. I had my suspicions that this would be the end, which is a very depressing thought for people such as like Jeremy and I, who grew up on this sort of a series. And then Jeff Goldblum had to open his mouth. And he said that there were talks, and it's past the talking phase, but there will be more dinosaur movies. They will just not be Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, which he hopes to be in them. He said that he would be very happy to be the main character once again in a series of dinosaur Jurassic Park-esque movies. So, meaning we could still get more. Now, me being one of the few people that when I saw Star-Lord was going to be a raptor handler in Jurassic World, I was probably one of many thinking, okay, so this is going to be a stupid like Parks and Rec, or as in the thing I was sent the other day, Parks and Recs.
You're welcome.
Sort of a joke. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think this was going to work out at all. I didn't think it would be good. And then it was just the right amount of comedy and right amount of seriousness. It was like Star-Lord just landed in, instead of being abducted by Yondu, he was picked up by Simon Masrani, or, maybe he ran into some unknown man in the desert with a raptor claw. That's just a theory. A dinosaur
We didn't
theory.
know that kid's name.
No, we didn't. I swear to God, though, if they ever come up in Dominion and make the comment like, it's like, oh, Alan Grant, do I know you? Well, I mean, you rubbed a raptor claw against my stomach when I was like this year. I will pee in the seat. I don't even care. I will be like, I did.
The fact that he's specifically a raptor handler, too, that would be kind of funny.
I think that would be a good reason as to why he would have been. I mean, like, let's be honest. You don't just pick anybody out. What they say he was in the military. He was in the military.
He was in the Navy.
Yeah.
But
that's right. I was in the Navy, not the Navajo. I don't remember what. You don't just pick random soldier out of the Navy and be like, you get to train velociraptors. I feel like there is a reason, predetermined reason why Owen Grady, of all people, was chosen from the Navy to be a raptor handler. We are going completely off topic. I was asked what I think about this being the last movie.
I was like, did I miss? I know I'm watching the chat, but I was like, did I miss? What was the question again?
I was worried that it would be the last one. I'm no longer worried. I'll put it that way. Thanks to Jeff for running his mouth. I'm not worried.
I don't think you have to have one of the legacy characters for a spinoff. Because, I mean, if you compare it to what Star Wars has been doing, I mean, it's like, yeah, Boba Fett's a bit of a legacy character, but he's not one of the big three. He's not Han, Luke, or Leia. He was I mean, to be absolutely honest, he's more significant in the expanded universe stuff than he ever was in the films.
Yeah, but then Disney took its Iron Gauntlet with nope.
But Disney very wisely said, we have this large universe of characters that don't really, I mean, they have backstories in the expanded universe stuff, which is now considered the, what do they call it now? The Star Wars Legacy or Star Wars, whatever it is, after now that they bought everything from Lucasfilm, so they want to make everything canon.
No. What they're saying is, this stuff was already here, but fuck you, now we're going to tell it, and now we did it.
Well, they're exploring those stories. They're just having Boba Fett be that bodyguard that brought in Han Solo, It's like now we're gonna go into his background a little bit, so that makes sense. What I
That was
kind of
already
want to
written
see,
as a story.
in the expanded universe stuff, it wasn't technically canon once they bought everything and they were like, okay, we're gonna call all that stuff not legacy. What the hell did they call it?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they could do something like that with this. But one of the things that I would really like to see them do, I would like to see them maybe kind of go down this route where instead of it being basically humans still running things and dinosaurs is kind of an annoyance, where it goes into this thing where kind of like the Planet of the Apes, whereas dinosaurs have taken over the planet. And humans are the ones that are trying to figure out a way to survive because we're not at the top of the food chain anymore. I'd like to see them go around like that.
It's
damn you all to hell!
You damn dirty raptor!
In the sand, just like, damn it!
So it has based, because I was telling Jeremy, I don't remember if we were even on stream as of yet, but I was referring to the new website that Colin Trevorrow had put up, had referenced on Twitter, called Dino Tracker. And if anybody watching this has not checked out Dino Tracker, what Dino Tracker is it is a run website by the prehistoric wildlife conservation kind of a thing. So instead of fish and game or fish and wild, is it fish and wildlife? Instead of fish and wildlife, they have opened up a sub unit called the prehistoric wildlife, which has like the same kind of a badge logo and everything, which is actually really cool. But what it gives us is you can go around, you give a 3-dimensional globe, and you're able to kind of scroll around the globe, and it will give you red dots and blue dots. Red dots are videos. Blue dots are, I'm trying to film down here. God, so inconsiderate. Do you know who I am? I'm a dinosaur, man. No, anyway. My Giga is actually reflecting on the shed over here too. That's really great. Hope a neighbor comes out and's like, so you scroll around on the earth and you get red dots, which are videos, blue dots, which are pictures. And I mean, it's kind of just the new norm. Like we've got videos of people's Ring doorbell cameras. And I love how we've incorporated like new age technology. I mean, it's not really new age at this point, but you know, you always get those creepy pictures of people looking in on your, it's like, oh, there was a demon in the street that was picked up on my Ring doorbell. No, now we get Stiggy Moloch walking up, which, if for those of you who don't know, is the little pachycephalosaur dinosaur that was the cute factor for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. You get one of those sniffing at a Ring doorbell camera, which is cute because, you know, you get these big eyes and it's just looking adorable and like. And then you, of course, have I believe there is supposed to be a reference to Deadliest Catch with
the mosasaur just coming out of the
mosasaur. Water. I believe there was a rumor that one of the more famous of the boats was going to be shown in there. I mean, which would be an amazing thing, you know, that cross publicity there. You know, if you're doing Deadliest Catch on Discovery, I think that's what channel it's on. Yeah, just have like freaking mosasaur popping up or something and just being like, Deadliest Catch, new season. By the way, Jurassic World Dominion, also new movie coming out. Like, you could do so many good things with that. But it's kind of like, as Ian Malcolm even says, we have lost dominion. I mean, obviously, I need to see the movie before we can really start quoting it. But there's a full speech that he gives, which is actually leaked online. You can find it. Talk about how we have lost dominion over ourselves. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, it's kind of like you get some things where, okay, you know what, we can handle this. It's not a big deal. You get a herd of Parasaurolophus running with horses. Well, while that's not just so goddamn majestic, it's all at the same time, you kind of get people, you have the beauties of these things coming back and taking over, not really even taking over, but just kind of coming back. And then you have a whole side of it where, you know, people are going to take advantage of this. That was kind of shown in Fallen Kingdom when you have people buying dinosaurs that have no damn right buying a dinosaur. Just because it looks cool doesn't mean you didn't stop to think whether you should. Mm-hmm. it's just, I just quoted you and you're not even paying attention. Stop tweeting.
I heard you.
No, you didn't. You never pay attention to me anymore.
I look at you during. Don't start this conversation right now.
I mean, we have leaked footage of a baryonyx with a robot arm, for God's sakes, to show it is in a pretty much a giant cockfighting ring. So people are now taking dinosaurs. It's like, now we're going to gamble with them, which of course that would happen in real life. We have to take, how would humans naturally react with dinosaurs being brought into our civilization? Yet, yes, we would have our zoos, I'm sure. We would also have our it'd be no different than driving down a farmland, and you'd see which some of the videos on this Dino Tracker are people just driving and seeing Triceratops grazing with cows. Which, I mean, really, they're
moving in herds.
There's no big difference. They're both pretty much just cousins of each other at this point. You look at a Triceratops, you look at a cow, both of them are going to look at each other and be like, we're not really all that different. There's no need. I mean, a bull ain't going to square up to that. And if he does, he's an idiot. But you are going to have people out there. It's like, well, I mean, I could, use these Doberman as dogs to protect my drug hideout, or I could use this Carnotaurus to guard my drug hideout, which has been confirmed that is going to be seen in the movie, people using these dinosaurs as guard dogs and breeding them to be smaller than they're supposed to be so that they can fight easier. And then if this one loses and he's still a good fighter, we'll just replace his arm with a bionic arm. I thought that was a joke.
So
and then
basically it turns into the video game Ark. We have like half robot dinosaurs and shit.
Pretty much. It's not a robot arm. It's just a prosthetic arm. But they did confirm, because everybody saw this little toy of a baryonyx with a bionic arm, pretty much. They just call it with prosthetic. And people are like, oh, this is just a fake toy, whatever. Nope, there's footage of a baryonyx in a fighting ring with a prosthetic arm. I mean, I don't know how they even put the harness on this damn thing. But it's also like 3 times smaller than a normal baryonyx compared to what we get in the movie. So, of course, us as human beings, I honestly feel like, we kind of deserve to lose our planet to these things, seeing as how we're not the reason they died. God gave them their shot, but at the same time,
chose them for extinction.
Yeah, but of course, us the dumbass race we are, have to use these things. You had Hoskins in Jurassic World, who wanted to take raptors and turn them into military weapons, because that is what we do. We are a race that wants to conquer the next and take over that region, Russia. But that's all we need.
That Russian guy was trying to buy that dinosaur in the same.
That's all we need is Putin with a Triceratops, dude. I mean, that's not going to go well.
No, they're going to change that picture of him riding topless on the horse. He's even on top of a fucking raptor next. Someone please edit that picture.
No, well, it does not surprise me how people handle having dinosaurs back. It's just, why? I didn't think I needed a baryonyx with a prosthetic arm, but now that I've seen one,
I know I kind of want one.
I want one, but
you just proved your own point. Well, now I want one.
If I go on a toy hunt in one of my future videos and see that in a box, I'll be like, mine. It's
See, when you were saying that, my thought went to reading back through the Walking Dead comics, and it's the same thing. Like, how would you handle a world that has these walkers everywhere and these dead people? And like, I got back up to like where I kind of fell off and forgot reading it, so I started over, and I'm back up to where the governor is, and they have like kind of those like not sporting events, but I guess kind of you see it in the show, like the kind of gladiator fight thing. Utilizing the walkers, and they're like, well, people still have to have entertainment, and I'm like, I guess you just kind of, I guess the human condition is just you deal with the cards life gives you, and life finds a way.
It kills me though. Haha, I see what you did there. I just love how us as a race, when we see something that's new, our first reaction is to either fight it or put it up against something else to fight that. I mean, I remember watching, there's a Netflix movie called Bright with Will Smith, which is, kind of a sore subject at the moment. But Will Smith, and it's kind of like as if, right? If you have a world, and if you haven't seen Bright, I do recommend checking it out. It's an absolutely amazing movie. But it's way pre-slap. It's a movie about Will Smith as a cop working in. He lives in this universe, in this world where you have orcs, you have elves, you have dragons, you have dark lords, and it's like modern day. You know, if Lord of the Rings had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years to progress, you then get into modern day world, but you still have orcs, you still have your elves, you still have your dragons. And he even talks about in that, he goes that they have dragon fighting rings and they have fairy fighting rings where they take fairies and they piss them off and they put them against other fairies in an arena. It's like we have something, and no matter what we have, we must fight them. I don't understand. I get this coming from a big Pokemon fan at the same time. Like, I've got this really cool dragon and my little cool fluffy puffer here, but I'm definitely going to watch him duke it out, because who doesn't want to watch a fluffy puffer fight a dragon? You're
going to turn into to Mike Tyson. Just to now fight.
Do it. It's. What was the question again? Because this is not a series to have me.
It's funny because you can't actually see the chat. We're sitting here laughing because we're like, so what were we talking about?
That's why I was in the chat. I was like, do you guys even remember the story we were supposed to be talking about?
I saw what you did.
I remember.
You can't see the chat. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Remember?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I remember.
We were talking about Chris Pratt saying Jurassic World Dominion was going to be the end of the franchise.
Wait, we were still on that question.
We started talking about Bright on Netflix, which I didn't think was all that great of a movie. I actually only watched half of it.
I didn't like it either. It wasn't bad, but I didn't like it.
My only tack onto that was, I'm like, well, there's that theory that Fallout does happen in the future, but Skyrim is even further in the future because you come back around and it eventually, you know what I mean? It's a weird joke that we kind of de-evolve in a way. So
we kind of already are.
This series basically could be summed up. Damn, Nation, scary.
I was almost sitting out here by candlelight, for God's sakes, if I couldn't find this damn light. So yeah, we're going back.
We're all gonna be sitting out by candlelight if shit doesn't fucking stop being so expensive. Anyway, hey, he called it. Chris,
you guys
called
wanted
it.
me.
We're gonna be living in a van down by the river.
You guys wanted me on this show. If you bring me into Jurassic Park territory, there is no following the line. I hop out of a moving vehicle, for God's sakes, to go chase after a Triceratops. There is no focusing.
I bring the rock star.
If we do end up getting more Jurassic films in the future, Brooding Gamer, what do you want to see out of it? Forget who comes back and who doesn't. What kind of a story would you like them to tell in another movie?
I would just like to see what's going on throughout the world from other people's point of view. You know, it'd be really cool if we got some legacy characters just pop in. And hell, I mean, if Jeff Goldblum decided he's like, I want to be the main character of this next few series of dinosaur movies, I mean, hell, we'll watch it. Of course we will.
I'll watch
but I think it's kind of like a Walking Dead situation. You've got all these, it's all the same situation, the same story in a way, or the same plot, but different stories.
Well, so like you have with Fear, and then you got the main.
Yeah,
show.
You have The Walking Dead, you have Fear the Walking Dead, and you had that other show we don't talk about. And then you have a Daryl and a Carol. Daryl and Carol.
There's gonna be a Negan and Maggie one coming too.
So you have all these different spin-offs, but you get to see how other people in different locations are handling the same problem. So, you know, while we're dealing with, I've heard people say they'd love to do a reboot of the series, and I am completely against that. Honestly, I feel like this is one of those things you don't need to touch. It is perfect the way it is. You ask certain people, there's a channel by the name of the Nostalgia Critic, and he rips on Jurassic Park left and right, but he still says they're not bad movies, which it's whatever. You're allowed to have your opinion. Whether they're wrong, you can still have an opinion. But I honestly, if there was one thing I would like to see out of a future Jurassic whatever franchise, would simply just be how other people are handling this. You know, hell, let's get The Rock in here. Let's see what The Rock is cooking when he comes up against a Carnotaur or any other dinosaur that I could name that other people will go, huh? That would be really cool. That would be really cool to see. Maybe kind of go just in another direction. Supposedly dinosaurs have now gone overseas. I mean, hell, I will reference Dino Tracker quite a lot in this. We have videos of baryonyx swimming at a pool in Beccles, England. Beccles, England, I think. And people have questioned, well, how the hell did that thing get over here? I thought these things got released in California. What the hell is happening? But you did have people buy dinosaurs and take them overseas. That did still happen. And we do have proof that a lot of these dinosaurs were bred with a particular type of monitor DNA, which can self-reproduce. They can. Is that asexual reproduction?
Yes.
You're getting me into it. I work at a vet clinic, for God's sakes. You think I would know this? But I mean, Blue gave birth to a baby Blue with not needing a mate. But stop it.
Has that been established already from the trailers?
Yes.
She has a little kid.
So this is one of those things where it's one of those true Jurassic World fans. Jurassic Park fans and Jurassic World fans would know, because they released a game called Jurassic World Aftermath, which takes place after Jurassic World, before Fallen Kingdom, and you just play as a guy going to do something, but you end up finding these documents in Dr. Wu's lab that discuss Blue's genetic makeup, and one of her genetic makeup was, I want to say it was a Black Nile monitor or something like that. But they do have, they do have the ability to, if in a single sex environment, reproduce, which we did see in Jurassic Park, using, I think it was African bullfrog DNA, which Alan does say, in a single sex environment, some have been known to change their sex, in which case they started breeding with each other. But they can also reproduce asexually, which is how Blue was able to give birth to or lay Beta. So it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the dinosaurs that went overseas started having the same, that would lead to a lot of inbreeding, though, and you'd have some wonky-legged Allosaurus hopping around.
Well, we can just rename them Alabamosauruses.
I'm coming too, guys! Oh, no. Who brought Tim?
Who brought Timmy? Damn,
Sweet home, Costa Rica.
Something like that. But, I personally think... I like the idea of making it kind of like a Planet of the Apes kind of thing. Like dinosaurs would just run us all over because we were not very wise in the implementation of what we were doing to even try to recreate them in the first place. And it would go back to the whole debate, in the very first film of they were selected for extinction for a reason, because their time had come, their time had gone, and it was man's time to start their run of being in charge of the Earth. And when you bring back this creature, this is what's going to happen. You're going to destroy man. So I kind of like the idea of kind of approaching that storyline a little bit more. And
if anything that movies teach us is sometimes it can be a cautionary tale. Don't make dinosaurs. As cool as it would be, don't make dinosaurs, damn it.
Or try not to make anything that can kill a lot of people before you can even come close to trying to stop it.
Yeah, like I said, like Terminator is a good example too.
One of the people in my YouTube video comments actually had said, "You do realize that if he would have just avoided carnivores, Jurassic Park would have been successful."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yep, you're right," but people would have got bored very quickly. People want more teeth. As Gray so elegantly puts in Jurassic World. People want bigger.
Why do they always got to go bigger?
Bigger.
Bigger, scarier. Because that sells tickets. But you guys go ahead and vamp for a minute. I will be right back.
Damn it, I needed to go get my drink. Anywho.
I'll sit here and talk to him by myself. Keep going.
No. What my thought was, because when the third one ended, I mean, we're watching through them again, too, to kind of prepare for this. We just watched 1 through 3. And I'm like, I kind of like them for what they were. That's all we kind of had there for a while. And they came out pretty close to each other. It was 93, 97, and 2001. So
hi, Chloe. Hi, baby. Yeah,
so not too far out. And then what was it? 2015 was Jurassic World, I think.
Jurassic Park 3 was in 2001. Oh my god, it was 14 years. Jeez.
That's 20.
2015 is when Jurassic
World.
I
thought you was like 2001 was about 20 some years ago, man. Oh yeah, no. 2015.
That was 14 years between movies is a long time. It's not unheard of.
So I'm like, I know that this is kind of a continuation of it.
Well, they've kind of, I don't remember where it was that I heard, whether it was a fan thing or Colin Trevorrow had come out and said something. And it's weird that we don't say Steven Spielberg anymore because, he was like the father of, Michael Crichton was the father of Jurassic Park. I mean, he has a damn dinosaur named after him. But it kills me because it was like somebody had said that Jurassic Park The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 were no longer canon to the series. They wanted it solely to be Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and it was going to be like there were only going to be 4 movies in there. But there's been a lot of hints kind of leading towards that maybe the Lost World, Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park 3 are still canon. Because
you could just say Ellie got divorced. God damn it, put them together again.
We could. I want to see her son. I want to see her son be like, "It's the dinosaur man" or something.
He's
like
probably
as an adult.
Teenager by now.
He probably is. So he was. I gotta remember. I think he was 5 in that movie because she says Alan. He's 5.
He's 5.
Alan. He's something.
He's 3. Yeah. So
or 3. Let's wait till he's 5. I don't know.
He'd be in his like mid-20s then, right?
Probably. The one thing is, I mean, they're bringing back all these characters, but I have not heard a single thing about Lex and Tim. That would be my. That's the answer to Frank's previous question is just following Lex and Tim. That's what I want to do.
Well, you'd have to recast Lex.
Why?
The girl that played Lex in the first film and that cameo in the second one, she doesn't act anymore.
Yeah, but
she's so dadgum pretty. I was waiting for her to be like, "Oh, she died."
I'm not gonna lie, but she doesn't act anymore.
What do you mean she's dead?
You kind of scared me for a second. I'm like,
I did too. I was like, "Shut up, Frank! Shut up, Frank!" But if I'm not gonna be mad if they bring.
Hey, wait, hold on. Good point. Hayden Christensen didn't act anymore either. Guess who came back to play Big Daddy Vader?
Hayden Christensen acted in plenty of stuff. He just wasn't getting cast.
No, I thought he said he gave up. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to raise my kid. I'm going to be with my wife." And
no, he was in Takers. He was in that one movie.
Yeah, right after. I mean, like since then, he said
he wasn't getting cast. That's something that actors say when they're not getting cast, and they want to look like they're not getting movies because they don't want them. It's like, wait a minute, I tried out for all this shit and I wasn't getting it. I'm just going to go ahead and quit acting because I'm not getting any roles anyway, and say I want to hang out with my family. Fuck that.
He seemed pretty okay with it though. He's just like, whatever. I'll just enjoy my life.
Or he has a really damn good poker face.
Now I'm not saying
many
she may
faces
not
of
have a
Vader.
price.
Yeah, you didn't blink.
I'm not saying she may not have a price. Like Steven Spielberg called her up and said, "Hey, how many zeros do I have to put on a check to get you to come back?"
Wait. You could do the William H. Macy. I can write all kinds of numbers on this check, Dr. Grant. I don't know.
If I didn't want to get hit with copyright, I'd love to play Big Hat No Cattle in the background. Jurassic Park 3. If I can find a fedora before then, I'll do Alan Grant from JP3. But I am not at all going to be mad if they end up. I mean, we'll know when we go into the movie if they reference. There's been a lot of talk that the Spinosaurus may finally make another comeback in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Dominion, because Laura Dern had said in a meeting, I think with Jimmy Fallon on a show, she said that all the actors were coming back. All the dinosaurs were coming back. And that is one dinosaur that people have been wanting to see a comeback. Whether it be... And it turns out there was a original script for Fallen Kingdom when you get the gyrosphere stuck on a rock and you've got the volcano erupting. And you just have this random Carnotaurus that's deciding, the world's ending, but when's the last time I've had some nums? That Carnotaurus was originally going to be a Spinosaurus, and it was going to be a very quick, there's Rexy. Rexy's going to knock her ass down, his ass, whatever. I don't even know how the gender things go anymore these days.
Rexy's
And
I think.
she is, yeah. Which, I mean, I have a whole plot idea for how they can end Jurassic World Dominion, but I will not go there yet. But bring that Spinosaurus back in.
It comes full circle. A meteor comes in and wipes out all the humans. Boom. Done.
Egg hatch and it's a baby T-Rex. That's all I got to say.
Yes.
Baby Rexy. Which would then mean you probably have to kill the original Rexy, which I'm not okay with. But
well,
anywho,
they killed the original Brachiosaurus, which is upsetting.
Which apparently isn't the case anymore because there's still Brachiosaurus. I don't know how this works.
No, they mean the OG one that they saw in the first movie.
Yeah, he should not have said that. That was upsetting. You had so many people in the world videotaping their significant others and just being like, I just want you to realize that was the very first Brachiosaurus we ever had. And then you get people who are bawling. It's like, stop, that's even worse. Like, I feel like going back to where we were completely going, because again, off topic, because that's my problem, and I'm drinking, which is even worse. Where was it?
You lost the plot completely, didn't you?
Oh, I hate it when you do that to me.
You need to make sure you don't.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, right. If we, it's your fault. God damn it. If we actually do bring the other two movies back into the series, supposedly maybe they never left. Maybe it was just an idea that we all kind of just put in our heads, kind of like the Mandela effect, where we thought that those two movies were no longer canon.
You thought. You're just going to gaslight Ian Malcolm? Yeah, there wasn't a second island, dude.
But, shut up. There's a lot. If we see, or he references his daughter, whose name I honestly cannot remember.
Kelly.
I try to forget her. If they reference her,
don't want to be around him, huh?
if they reference her or they reference Sarah Harding, we'll know, okay, this is, if he even brings up being on Sorna, then okay, then we know. He could say Sorna and then Alan be like, oh, you were there too?
I got it. Vince Vaughn comes back. Boom.
I'd be here for that. Yeah.
He wasn't that big at that time.
I haven't seen do anything in a long time.
Right? Hammond said he saw a secret weapon. What's that? Me. Simon Masrani was supposed to call me. I'm still waiting. Well, he's dead. That explains a lot.
Yeah, that does explain a lot.
I think that because they did. Everybody is kind of currently going through this whole what if phase of everything, and the big game, which I'm trying to get bigger on my channel, Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is kind of like if Zoo Tycoon meets Jurassic Park, because they went through a whole series of these extra levels you could do that were called Chaos Theory. And every single one of them have these amazing intros voiced by Jeff Goldblum going, okay, now what if Dennis Nedry did not cause all the problems at Jurassic Park? What if Dennis Nedry actually didn't work at Jurassic Park so that you didn't have to deal with that problem? The Lost World was simply or what if San Diego came into fruition? Jurassic Park 3 actually brought in a little fancy. Jurassic Park 3 had already happened, but it was if Simon Masrani. Okay. All right. If Simon Masrani came in and took over the dinosaurs from Sorna and moved them over to Nublar for Jurassic World, and they ended up doing a lot of these really cool things, such as using original plot lines from the other movies, such as Jurassic Park 3 having a whole scene that was cut from the movie because Jurassic Park 3 was a nightmare with the script. They brought back the Spinosaurus only for it to be killed by a pack of raptors. And then he's like, you know what? Collect the body of that Spinosaurus. I have further use for it, which then turns out to be the theory that everybody had that the skeleton on Main Street of Jurassic World was the Spinosaurus from the third movie. This kind of it's not canon to the series, but it's the whole like what if. So that was kind of like a nice little nod to like, oh, maybe that really is the skeleton. Of course, we have the TV series on Netflix, Camp Cretaceous, which then confirmed that the spine, which has been confirmed as canon, even if it is a DreamWorks kids show. For those of you who have not watched it, you need to check that show out. It has snagged a lot of people's attention. the Spinosaurus from Sorna is in a secret facility on this weird island that nobody knows about, but it has been confirmed to be the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. So that's where people start getting confused as if this is all canon, if this is not canon, if the movies are all still connected in some way. But nobody, to my knowledge, we haven't even referred to Site B yet with the Jurassic World franchise, except for in Fallen Kingdom when people thought that when they said there was another island for these animals to be relocated to that the guy supposedly lied about or maybe not lied about was Site B. So I have no idea.
So what you're saying is, yeah, you have no idea.
So what you're saying is you have no idea what you're saying.
No.
So Chris Pratt's like, hey, this is the last Jurassic Park movie, and now we've got an entire encyclopedia of exactly what Jurassic Park dinosaurs and everything is. Which is why we which is why we brought
you knew you were getting into.
You asked to bring in an expert. There you go.
You knew what you were getting into. I brought a raptor claw in my pocket, for God's sakes.
Hey.
That's called an obsessed fan right there.
I've only got one tattoo.
Seen my background?
Fan is short for fanatic, so I guess it makes sense. But, as always, we care what you guys think. So get down in the comments below, and if you even remember what the hell the original question was, the whole point of the article that was Chris Pratt saying it. This is going to be at least his final outing in the Jurassic World franchise. Do you think they're going to make any more? Do you think there'll be a new cast coming in a few years when they decide to make a new one? Go down in the comments below and let us know what you guys think.
Life will find a way.
Life will find a way. As I do some clicking here, we're going to get back to that tonight, and we're going to do Jurassic Park. Now, sticking with the Jurassic Park franchise theme that we've had today, it's time to do our retro review of the film that started it all. Jurassic Park is a 1993 American science fiction action film directed by the great Steven Spielberg and produced by Kathleen Kennedy and Gerald R. Mullen. It is the first installment in the Jurassic Park franchise and the first film in the Jurassic Park original trilogy, and is based on the 1990 novel of the same name by writer Michael Crichton and a screenplay written by Crichton and David Cope. The film is set in the fictional island of Isla Nublar, located off Central America's Pacific coast near Costa Rica. There, a wealthy businessman named John Hammond and a team of genetic scientists have created a wildlife park of de-extinct dinosaurs. When industrial sabotage leads to a catastrophic shutdown of the park's power facilities and security precautions, a small group of visitors and Hammond's grandchildren struggle to survive and escape the perilous island. Before Crichton's novel was published, 4 studios put in bids for its filming rights. With the backing of Universal Studios, Spielberg acquired the rights for $1.5 million before the book was even published in 1990. Crichton was also hired at an additional $500,000 to adapt the novel for the screen. Cope did write the final draft of the script, which left out much of the novel's exposition and violence and made numerous changes to the characters. Jurassic Park premiered on June 9th, 1993 at the Uptown Theater in Washington, D.C. and was released on June 11th in wide release in the United States. It went on to gross over, let's see, what did I just read here, $912 million worldwide in its original theatrical run. In 2018, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. And that, my friends, is the rundown on the original Jurassic Park. Let the discussion begin. Let's talk about Jurassic Park. Jeremy, go ahead.
I just had an Ian Malcolm moment there because I'm like, just talk about it? Okay.
Oh, me?
There was no question. I was just like, just talk about it. Okay. Done.
He brought the paleontologist. You brought the rock star.
I brought the rock star. Let's see. Well, I thought about it. I was like, I do have a Jurassic Park shirt somewhere. I'm fairly certain it does not fit me anymore. But it was funny once. I remember I was at work and some guy was, a much older gentleman, was like, were you even alive for that movie? I was like, actually, yes, I was. Technically, I was actually alive for that movie. But I do remember watching. He side-eyed me. I'm like, I'm barely older than it, yes, but I remember actually seeing this like when I was younger. I think I do remember this movie. I kind of vaguely remember the second one too. Like I don't know. This one, how do you beat the classic? You know what I mean?
4 years old, watching it from a Blockbuster VHS. That's my first movie I ever watched.
I was saying that, like, I still have the first 3 movies all on DVD still. Or sorry, not DVD. VHS still. I just now bought them all again on DVD. I'm fucking myself up. Oh my god. I recently just bought them all on DVD finally so I could have them all to watch. But I still have my original VHSs when I was a kid. And I remember it's nice because you can still watch this movie and it still holds up. Like, the effects still hold up really well. So that's a big, pat on the back to Spielberg, to George Lucas, and ILM, and all those guys that made, it's just practical dinosaurs. But you still made it, and you mixed it in with some of the CGI, and the CGI looks fucking phenomenal still. You're talking about a movie that's getting up there on like 30 years old. It's crazy. It still makes you feel, dinosaurs aren't real, and
I watched that movie to this day, and I still feel the butterflies.
You still feel the same.
Yeah, I remember I had put up a picture on Facebook of me putting up, putting stuff up in my apartment, and I had that movie playing in the background. And when it's John and Ellie sitting across the table from each other, I had to stop what I was doing and sit down and just because one of my favorite scenes is that whole scene of just him explaining himself and how, it was an amazing idea. Who would not want to make a park of dinosaurs, something that a lot of people, didn't even realize that there are people out there who don't even believe dinosaurs existed, let alone, seeing them in person or anything like that. It's just,
give them something they could touch, something that was real.
See and touch. It's the first time. If you think about it this way, Jurassic Park was the first movie to really give us 3D animation, because when the movie first came out, the movie first came out, they wanted stop motion. They wanted clay maquettes. No, not much more different than these figures right here. And they would all be stop motion. But it was because of one gentleman whose name honestly escapes me that he decided he was going to break the mold, literally. And he unfortunately put a very famous clay maquette stop motion artist out of business for a while because he brought animation into the light. And when his first animation test, and for those of you who are watching who have seen my Vintage Victories videos, one of the intros has the original stop motion clay maquette T-Rex in a walk cycle. And he was supposed to take that to a testing where they go into the big screen and they have all the people behind them putting up on a screen to show, okay, here's what all we have, here's what is currently going on. And they said, you will not be bringing any any computer work. You will be bringing the stop motion T-Rex that we have discussed. And he had brought it up multiple times. What if we did this? We could do this. And he said, literally, fuck it, and brought the scene of what we have now. If you've seen the making of Jurassic Park, which Jeremy, I know you have, of these Gallimimus running through a field and this T-Rex just walking and chasing after them, which would then eventually lead into the scene of Rexy coming out and eating the Gallimimus in front of the two kids and Grant. That's what he took to the table and put that up on the screen. So he had Gallimimus and a T-Rex just doing these things that no one had ever done before. And when he turned, he had a lot of angry faces looking at him. A lot of people were like, you're fired. Get the hell out. You're done. Meanwhile, you had Steven Spielberg sitting there, jaw on the floor, and he pulled him aside and said, what more can you do? I want more. So it's because of Steven Spielberg who saved this man's ass, which we now have more of these things. And I'm thinking back on it, I don't think that this was the first movie to introduce anything like that. It may not have been. I'm kind of trying to remember when Terminator came out, because you had
the first one.
Yeah,
came out.
That
in
was
84.
Yeah.
So it came out. So it's not the first time. Jurassic Park wasn't.
I was thinking this is pre-Toy Story even too, like full on computer animation. That's like what, 94?
Yeah,
Right
Terminator, because Terminator had the one that whatever. I'm not very versed up in the way of Terminator, so I couldn't tell you the different versions of the robots. But the cop who turned into the liquid
T-1000.
T-1000. Thank you. I knew there was a T in there.
Well, that was
somewhere.
in the 1990, right? So yeah, even then, those effects are still pretty crazy. When he does like the liquid metal shit and he like opens the bar. And...
Yeah. So Jurassic Park, it wasn't the first to do that, but it was one of the first to bring.
We were getting there.
It for sure was the first dinosaur we ever saw that had us go, oh my God, that's a dinosaur. Of course, we had stop motion King Kong, and we had an original Lost World, which again is a scene that is used in my Vintage Victory intro. We had dinosaurs, of course, but we didn't have dinosaurs. We didn't have a living, breathing creature that you honestly feel like you could walk up and touch, as John Hammond says. And the thing is what I love about the way they brought this movie into the light is you did not see a single dinosaur in the previews for the movie. They purposely left all of that out so that when you went and you sat in those seats and you dropped your popcorn bucket because you see a Brachiosaurus walking on screen, you are experiencing that for the first time, just like the characters in the movie were. So you had a lot of people who were like, holy shit, like I'm looking at a living, breathing dinosaur right now. And now these days I watch it and I'm like, I love that we fell for that, or that our parents fell for that. But now even then I still sit there and look at it, I'm like, how could we not fall for that? It looks so spectacular with the effects.
So wait, so what you're saying is you're John Hammond. How can we stand in the light of discovery and not act? You're welcome. I appreciate that, like I said, I didn't know Rachel had only seen the first movie multiple times. She hadn't seen 2 or 3, or I don't know if she's seen Jurassic World. And I'm like, I did like the Udesky. I was like, oh wait, yeah, you don't know there's 2 islands. There's 2 islands and she was like, there's 2 islands with dinosaurs on them? I was like, yeah, there is. Well, it makes sense though when you think about it in context. It's just kind of like we bred them there. There is a facility, but just kind of no boundaries, no gates, and then we ship them to the main park to put them in the attractions. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to really explain it. It's fine.
My God, they're flourishing.
although, yeah, if we could just step aside. There are 5 islands there though that they did say. I'm like, so we are just going to gloss over the fact that the bird, I don't know, the pterodactyls, the pterodons, whatever they are that are flying away. I'm like, you realize they're not bound by anything, and also there's other islands around that little chain.
At the end of the first movie,
every of the first 3 movies, they all end with a shot of those pterodactyls or of some sort of flying creature. I'm like, we're just gonna gloss over the fact that they just took off. Like at the end of the 3rd one, they're like, the kid's like, where are they going? And Grant's like, I don't know, probably looking for new nesting grounds. I'm like,
you will be happy to know that on that Dino Tracker site in Oklahoma, there is currently, and I'm talking, they update this like it's currently happening right now, Jeremy. It's awesome. There is a current outbreak of pteranodons in Oklahoma right now.
Yeah, because he did say, like, I dare him to nest in Oklahoma.
When I was watching it earlier, I thought those birds that were flying away at the end of the first film were just like seagulls. I didn't think they looked like
dinosaurs. Like pelicans or something.
They're not. They're pelicans.
Yeah.
And that was just a nod to be like, because they constantly talk about
every movie ends with that. The other one's like, it shows that little one going up to the tree and like he does like a little roar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They all fly off. And I'm like, we're just going to gloss over that.
We didn't have that in Jurassic World. We had that in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, where he looks out to the side of the car and you see pteranodons flying. I don't know what the hell this is without the crest. I missed the long crest on these things. Now they have these little like stubs. Every movie has. I'll have to go back and watch. No, World did not, because it just ended with Rexy roaring at her kingdom. Literally, that was it.
Yeah.
So I'd say that is the.
Damn, she did the thing.
Do the roar. I love you, Daddy. That was the only one we had that did not end with some sort of flying animal. But you had so many references in Jurassic Park where Tim was like, "You always say that dinosaurs evolved into birds." They don't look like that to me. Like
looks like a 6-foot turkey. No, but anyway,
look here, you little bitch.
Where I was going with that is I'm kind of glad that it's like Frank always says, like, some of these movies you wish you could go back and experience again for the first time. And I'm like, that's what, like, Rachel's doing that. I'm like, you haven't seen Lost World. You haven't seen 3. And I'm like, man, I wish I could be in your position right now watching that again for the first time. And after watching it, she's like, those were good. I like those. She's like, no one liked 3. I'm like, I don't know. People think it's weird. Maybe it's like the Star Wars prequel thing where eventually people stop hating it. Because then it's like, hey, if we keep going, that wasn't so bad, was it?
The one thing when you mention that I really love is experiencing it for the first time. We were too young to really be able to experience it and embrace what we were saying when we first saw this, because I was far too young to understand. All I know is there were giant animals on the screen and they were cool as hell.
I was little, but I mean, you had,
yeah, you had a literal 14-year gap from Jurassic Park 3 to Jurassic World. And I remember going to, actually, it was a movie theater in Universal Studios. Corey, myself, my mom and dad, we went on, I want to say it was about a week after Jurassic World had actually come out, and we went and saw it in Universal Studios. I remember riding Jurassic Park and then being like, I get to go see Jurassic World tomorrow. It's going to be so cool. But it was like after so many years, I finally got to experience something new for the first time. Oh, hi, Chloe. I did not know you're out here. I just had like a slight piss in my pants just now. It's like, Coyote. We've got foxes in this neighborhood now, and I'm always expecting one to like crawl up my leg or something. But it was like, I'm not gonna lie, I am a very emotional type of person. I to this day can't hear Jurassic Park, the music, without tearing up because it brings back so many memories.
I do love that score. I mean, John Williams is already a god.
Oh my god, yes,
but that score is so amazing.
Yes.
But like, Jurassic Park to me, and I mean this could even go back into a whole other previous topic of the thought of the movie series ending hit me like a truck, because my brother, who is no longer with us at this point, and he had special needs, so we really didn't get to bond over that much stuff. But one thing we seemed to bond over the most was indeed Jurassic Park. I have a very fond memory of going to Disney World. And on our way to Disney World, we had this little DVD player up on the top of our van, and we watched Jurassic Park. And there's the scene where Rexy throws the Jeep over the cliff, or the Wrangler over the cliff, and she lets out the epic, and it's the only time we've heard this particular roar, but she lets out this iconic roar. And the whole time we look over at my brother, who is sitting there doing this like head motion with the roar. And we then, for the first time, realized, oh my God, he actually focuses on this. He knows. So, and every time we heard the movie or the music, we both would be like, Scooby Snacks, where? And so when I thought that the franchise was ending, it hit me a lot harder because, I mean, I've got this tattoo here for my brother and for my love of the series. And when I got to go and sit in the theater, and I think Corey thought I was a fucking nut, because I was sitting there, tears pouring out of my eyes when we're hearing this new rendition of the score, but we're going through those front gates and we're seeing the park and we're seeing these kids riding on dinosaurs and the music. And it was so overwhelming for me that it hit me like a load of bricks.
You felt like the little brother, didn't you?
I did. I felt like I'm just like,
I don't want to wait. I want to go. And you open the door and then the big score.
Exactly. Like that kid is exactly where most of us would probably be if we grew up as, people who grew up with the franchise. We're that one that, screw, I'm not even fully dressed yet. I'm running out in the park still wearing my boxer briefs because I haven't put my pants on because I'm just, I don't know what to do. There's too much shit to do here. But it was an awesome experience for the first time. And I recently went out with Haley and her family to the Indianapolis Children's Museum. And it's cool because they're going through a phase right now, my nephews, they're 3 and 4, where everything to them is just absolutely amazing. And they saw, for the first time for them, a T-Rex skeleton. And that's their favorite dinosaur right now, is the T-Rex. But of course, everything they saw was a T-Rex. You know, it was adorable as hell. But they go up and they have the exact same reaction that I did, where my nephew Kyson was in awe. Like he didn't know what to do. He just like, oh my, that's a T-Rex. And then he got kind of scared of it, which got me. And then he kind of run over to his mom and he was holding her leg and he'd look up at it and he'd be like, that's a T-Rex. And we know that most of those bones are probably fake, but all he knows is that right there is the one dinosaur he loves the most. And seeing the look in his eye when he just he wanted to stay by there. And he constantly throughout the whole visit of this museum was, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it was great. It brought back so much of like when I first grew up with dinosaurs. And of course, the first thing I did was Jurassic Park growing up. That's what got me into this problem that you see here. So it's cute because they have watched Jurassic Park, but they don't understand it. They just see, oh, there's dinosaurs, exactly how I was at that age. So I know as they get older, they're going to be able to appreciate it more. Then when they go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, at least you didn't have a friend that had a big, like, you know, people like mount animals on walls.
Yeah.
I don't remember, I can see it still, but I don't know why I'm like, what dinosaur was it?
It's called Texas.
He had, yeah, but I mean, it was a dinosaur. He had a big fucking bust of like from maybe like here, so it had arms and it had, you know, the neck and the mouth and shit. He had that like right on his wall in his room above his goddamn bed. So spending the night at his house was fucking terrifying half the time. Because you wake up and you see that fucking T-Rex like, yeah, okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was kind of. I mean, there was that. That was fun. I remember that growing up. We were all kind of into that. Into those
yeah.
It was a fun time.
I'm thinking about it. Like one day when they get to be about our age, Jurassic World to them is going to be Jurassic Park to us. I grew up with that movie.
Then it's gonna be Jurassic Universe at this point because where the hell do we go from here now?
And then I'm gonna feel older than I already am. I'm only 27. And I already feel like I'm like, back in my day,
you're gonna be feeling like John Hammond.
Dinosaurs were still made from rubber and animal.
You know what you're gonna be a grandfather. You're gonna if you don't base your look when you're that age around looking like John Hammond.
Oh, you better believe I will.
Because your grandson's gonna come up to you and be like, "What is this?" You're gonna kneel down and be like, "I'll show you." Like,
yes, I will. I hope to God I'll tell Haley.
I'll show you, child. Like,
I need a cane, and yes, it will be John Hammond's cane. Like,
I'm imagining.
I've wanted one of those really bad for a long time.
Etsy has them for like $400. Kills me. I'll cave one day and get one.
I don't want one bad enough for $400, but I want one.
No.
Right.
I'll save it for it.
Let's go into a little bit of trivia. See if we can entice some other discussion on this.
Exactly, Alex.
Michael Crichton had intended John Hammond to be a dark Walt Disney. I actually think that the way that Richard not really. I think that the way that Richard Attenborough plays him in the film, he's actually a lot like a Walt. He's more like a Walt Disney. He's not a dark version. He seems to want some things like Walt Disney wanted them. He wanted to give people a positive, amazing, life-altering experience, but not in a dark way. So I don't think the way that Attenborough ended up playing him was a dark Disney. You know what I mean?
Well, you didn't have like little dinosaurs singing "It's a Small World," so that whatever.
The John Hammond in the book, and it's been so long since I've read it. I need to open it back up and read it. I've debated doing that before we go see the movie. Is he very much is a dark Walt Disney? He has all that want for wonder, but he wants it for all the wrong reasons. He wants it just because he wants to progress and he wants to make money. He doesn't care about he does his spiel about, I want to give something that these people can see and touch and but he does it.
You don't see the danger inherent, John, and
he does it in the book for all the wrong reasons. He's only in it for the money in the book. And I mean, hell, he even his death gives in the book is a coward's death. Like he doesn't. There was originally, I remember there was a whole extra part where John was actually going to sacrifice himself by turning on a speaker of a roaring T-Rex sitting in the auditorium and luring the raptors in there so that they would go for him instead of his grandchildren. That was originally going to be John Hammond's his death.
Hammond dies in the book, right?
Yes, he does. His then death ended up being someone turning on the T-Rex roar, which I believe was Gennaro, because Gennaro is pretty much the Alan Grant of the book. He is the hero and everything, which is funny. He turns on a roar to do exactly that, but in the process scares John. He trips, falls, breaks his leg or his ankle, whichever, and he is swarmed and killed by a small pack of Compsognathus, which are the Compies. So that is how he dies in the book, but it becomes this whole, like, they do not paint John as a pretty person in the book at all, and I mean, that'll be interesting.
One of the things in the trivia on IMDb is that Michael Crichton estimated that the screenplay has about 10 to 20% of the novel's content. So I mean, that's how much different the movie is from the book. There's a lot of shit in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happen in the book. It goes completely off the rails from what the book is in the film. Doesn't Ian Malcolm die too? I read the book years ago. I can't remember a lot of it.
I think he does.
Ian is not a good guy in the book. He's more of an antagonist than anything. He does have some of the witty banter, but he does end up being more of a problem throughout the series or throughout the book. So, and I don't even think Alan Grant or Ellie Sattler, to be 100% with you, I don't even think they are in the books. I honestly think they may have just been written in for the movies because it's been so long since I've read it as well.
I read the book one time, like years ago, like in the late '90s. So I'm drawing off a lot of like.
Oh, you draw the line of yeah. You've been long. It's been a lot more longer than when I read it. I honestly can't remember if Alan Grant, like I said, because Donald Gennaro is the main character, pretty much. He's the guy that the kids end up being with, and he dies and gets eaten. Right? Yeah, he dies. Hey,
when you gotta go.
He dies in the Lost World. Not even to any. I think he dies from injuries that he succumbed to in Jurassic Park. And he ends up not even dying in the book, but they reference his death because he got like infection from these multiple wounds that he had received. So it's like he doesn't even like, they paint him to be this big character and this big hero just for him to be killed off in the worst way possible later on in the series. But, or in the dumbest way possible, not the worst way. But yeah, it was just the way they painted all these different characters was hilarious.
Yeah, another interesting piece of information is that Steven Spielberg was actually in the very early stages of pre-production for a movie called ER based on Michael Crichton's novel. When he heard about the Jurassic Park book, he subsequently dumped what he was doing to make Jurassic Park. Afterwards, he returned to ER and helped develop it into the hit television series that we all know, that was on TV forever.
There you go. Smart move.
An ER movie, what do you think that would have looked like? I'm so glad that we got Jurassic Park instead of an ER film. I don't think that
2 hours of fucking Grey's Anatomy is all it would have been.
Yeah,
it would have been 90s.
I can barely handle an hour.
Even worse.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been 90s, so it might have been different. Yeah.
But actually, if you think about it, a lot of actors got their oomph in the world from ER. I mean, hell, some may not think of it this way. I think of it this way.
Is that one that fucking like a super young George Clooney was on?
Yes. George Clooney was on there.
He had been on stuff prior to that, though.
Yeah, that's just the thing. I remember him the earliest.
I mean, ER was like the first like big starring role that he had, but he had been on like Roseanne. He had been on other stuff. His star was on the rise, but ER. I think that had ER not. Well, that was after. But
I know that was. I didn't say it was good.
I think that had ER become a movie and he not done that he probably would have gotten his pop somewhere. It just would have been something else.
Yeah, probably. I know there's a lot of
butterfly effect right there.
There's a lot of actors that actually John Stamos was in ER as well. That definitely wasn't his first acting role.
Oh, not
let's
at
be
all.
honest.
No.
Like
Uncle Jesse.
Anthony Edwards had already been in a bunch of movies all throughout the 80s.
Yeah. We had, and I actually didn't know this for the longest time. My mom ended up telling me we went and saw Scooby-Doo when the live action movie for that came out. And Velma is actually one of the main characters on ER. And actually, ER was still on at the time when Scooby-Doo... Yeah, I can't think of her name. And there were so many times I'm like, that's not Velma. No, it's not. And she's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, no, it's not. Velma's a nerd. She's pretty.
That wasn't Linda Cardinelli, was it?
That's her name.
Actually, I think so.
Yeah, she plays Hawkeye's wife in the MCU.
Yes. Yep, that was her.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, she's one of my celebrity crushes. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah. See, when we were talking about Scooby-Doo, he's like, what's her name? I'm like, I don't know, because you probably know exactly what's in my mind. I don't know why I can't think of her name.
Velma in that series could jinkies my mysteries all day long.
she 100% good.
I got some Scooby snacks for you. We're going to go solve a mystery.
A little bit more trivia. In 2005, even though this technology actually didn't exist when this particular film was made back in 1993, in 2005, paleontologist Dr. Mary Schweitzer discovered red blood cells and soft tissue in the fossilized bones of a T-Rex, meaning dinosaur cloning may someday become a reality.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. They made 6 movies saying why this is a bad fucking idea. Don't do it.
I've always said if I go out, I want to go out by an animal because I love nature so much. If I go out by a dinosaur, I will officially go to heaven, hopefully, as the coolest guy. It's like, what happened to you? Hit by a truck. What happened to you? Drowned. What happened to you?
Hey, man, don't.
Fucking Velociraptor, dude. Like,
don't. Yeah, no, you're going to see Steve Irwin up there be like, oh, what happened to you, Mike?
Yeah, Stingray, man. They get you every time. Velociraptor. They get you every time.
Now, get this. Here's one of those interesting what-if thoughts. James Cameron had stated that he wanted to make this movie, but the rights were bought just a few hours before he could bid. But upon seeing the movie, Cameron realized that Spielberg was the better choice to direct it, as his version would have been much more violent, like aliens with dinosaurs, which wouldn't have been fair to children who relate better to dinosaurs. The visual effects were directly influenced by Cameron's Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which came out 2 years earlier in 1991.
The thing is he's not wrong with wanting to do it that way, because the book is graphic like that. Like, they do not hold back. I mean, hell.
Oh, yeah, the book's brutal. I remember that much.
The Lost World has a whole scene with the High Hide where there's a pack of raptors attacking one of the surviving guys that's, I guess, when InGen was bought by douchebag Ludlow, he's running and he gets pounced on by a raptor, and the little girl, or there is a little girl in the book where she witnesses one of the raptors, or two of the raptors, fighting over the man's head, his severed head in its mouth, and they're fighting over a human head. Like, you put that image in your head, you see all these animals, and we have kind of imagined them as these, they're scary, but they're still wondrous, they're still mystifying kind of creatures. But if you think about those animals and you put human body parts in their mouths and their heads ripping people in half, you're going to look at them in a whole different light. Yes, that is definitely a xenomorph type of behavior, and I think that if James Cameron would have gotten a hold of it, maybe if he ever got a hold of it, we'd probably sit here now these days and be like, what? Steven Spielberg get a hold of Jurassic Park? He'd probably just ruin it. We could have been in a whole scenario. Steven Spielberg directing Avatar, guys. It's going to be amazing. I
was going to say, what would have happened if James Cameron got a hold of it? We wouldn't have seen this movie until probably about last year.
Why does it look so old? Well, it was filmed in the 90s. We just now got it.
Probably just now released the motherfucker. Wait for about another 20 years to make something else. Jesus Christ.
You guys wonder something about that iconic scene where Jeff Goldblum looks at the pile of Triceratops dung and says, that is one big pile of shit. Yes. The Triceratops dung that you see around the 52nd minute of the film didn't smell at all. It was made of clay, mud, and straw, and was drizzled in honey and papayas so that flies would swarm around it and make it look like poo.
See, I love movie shit like shit. I love movie shit like that. Where it's like yes, the big pile of shit. I love shit like that where it's like, props or effects of how'd you do that? And especially I am mildly old school. CGI is cool, but I like practical stuff because I'm like, I want to know how you did that, because I'm like, I like being able to know that, okay, there is a way to do this, and it's interesting how they do these things because I'm like, I don't have a computer that can shit out a dinosaur and make him do a little 30-second whatever. I'm like, that's where I'm like, that's cool, that's great, but I can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, if I had the money to spend on a big fucking mechanical T-Rex head, I'm like, see, that I could do. You know,
that's going above my bed.
Don't be like my friend. That's so fucked up.
I'd do it.
I think it was around the time like the second movie was out, maybe the third. So I'm like, this is early 2000s, maybe like late 90s. So it might have been one of them from like 2 or 3.
A little bit of a fun fact that maybe you guys don't care about. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that the game covered, the Evolution game. I'll reference that a little bit, probably a lot throughout us doing these review series. But they did a DLC for the first game called Return to Jurassic Park, which was events. It was everybody coming together. They got the original voice characters, so Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, and I want to say it's Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough.
James Attenborough?
Yeah,
Richard.
Sorry.
His brother.
Yeah,
Richard
him
Attenborough's
doing the voice
in this film. James Attenborough's his brother, who himself has a long storied career.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually just named a dinosaur after him. It's not a dinosaur, but they actually just named a plesiosaur after him, which is really cool. But I believe that they got him to do the voice of John Hammond, which it sounded a lot like him. It may just be someone who's trying, but I can't find a cast to be able to know if that's who did his voice. But every other character is voiced by Sam Neill, Laura Dern, of course, Henry Wu, and Jeff Goldblum, respectively. It was really cool, but they also kind of redid the models and redid some of the skins for some of the dinosaurs, one of them being the Triceratops. And the Triceratops is blue, which is really funny. And a lot of people were like, that's not what the Triceratops looked like. I'm really confused. Steven Spielberg actually came out because, of course, in order for them to make this game, the company Frontier has to, of course, be up in the know, and they have to be in communications. Colin Trevorrow has done multiple interviews with the game company so that he's like, okay, he's there when they make these games. And, you know, like with the next DLC preferably coming out for Dominion, he's got to be there to be like, okay, yeah, that's how that dinosaur moves in the movie, so that's how it should move in the game, stuff like that. But Steven Spielberg and Colin Trevorrow and Jeff Goldblum confirmed that the Triceratops in the first movie was actually blue, but for some reason, Steven thought it would make more sense to kick dirt all over the animatronic. So you think you see this brown Triceratops. It's actually not brown. It is a blue, vibrant Triceratops. But because he kicked dirt all over it, it pissed off the entire company of Stan Winston Studios because he had pretty much just nobody knew it, but you actually have a blue Triceratops that has been dyed brown because Steven thought it would look cooler to make it dirty. So
she was laying in the dirt. She was having a little tummy ache. So
she was, but a lot of people thought that was cool. They're like, wait, so interesting. A little bit of interesting tidbit info here. We didn't know because someone decided that
it looks like a dinosaur.
But nobody would have known this if it weren't for the game. We had a blue Triceratops and nobody said a word until it was like, wait, why is he blue? Well, let me tell you something. And it was really cool to have Steven Spielberg come out of nowhere and be like, actually, yeah, it's my fault because it was
my
blue.
bad, guys.
I decided to be like, here, let's throw some dirt on it. And
wait, so you're telling me he turned into Spider-Man? He's like, I want to put some dirt in your eyes.
It was just funny because he had talked about how absolutely pissed off Stan Winston was because he came out on set and was like, what'd you do?
What'd you do to my dinosaur, man?
What'd you do to my Triceratops?
Well, to be fair, the dinosaurs don't even look the same they do now as they did then because I'm like, yeah, well, we're working with what the best we got here in 1993 that we know about, that we can assume about dinosaurs. I'm like, the ones now almost look more like birds. They have like feathers and shit. I'm like, yes, that's what they're supposed to look like. So that kid was right. It's a 6-foot fucking turkey is what it really is. So you know what? You were wrong, Dr. Grant.
Yeah. Let's move on because I'm actually, my phone has just hit the 5% mark.
Oh, shit. I'm going to lose it.
Speed run.
Let's see. Right. Well, there was one other thing I wanted to read that sounded interesting, and I think I shot right past it. There it is. Director Steven Spielberg oversaw the post-production of this movie via video link while filming in Poland the Holocaust-themed Schindler's List, which came out also in 1993. He later called it one of the hardest times of his life as a filmmaker, and it took such an emotional toll on him that his enthusiasm for this movie had almost waned. He said that he needed an hour per day just to muster up the energy to comment on digital dinosaurs and answer trivial questions from the special effects crew.
I believe
well,
it.
Schindler's List is a heavy fucking movie, man.
Dude, that's a heavy movie.
Was.
That's one of my personal favorite movies of all time.
It's a very heavy movie. I've only actually seen it
see
twice.
it all the way through.
I've only seen it twice in my entire life. I realized that. I was like, oh my God, I saw it in high school, and then I saw it when I showed my mom a year or so ago because she hadn't seen it. And I was like, oh my God, this is just as... Whew, that's a rough one. Well, another rough one to get through with him is Saving Private Ryan. I mean, it's fun, but that's a heavy movie to get through as well.
I think Saving Private Ryan is a much easier film to watch than Schindler's List.
Yeah, it's easier to watch on it. Yeah, it's easier on you to watch that.
Let's agree to disagree or whatever. I don't know. Let's all just agree. Screw the disagree portion. Steven has had a really rough career. Yeah, I mean, he started off with Jaws, for God's sakes, and if anybody can get through Jaws, you can get through. You could get through anything, I guess. So
they did like E.T. shit like that.
Here's a little bit of casting stuff I thought was interesting. Jim Carrey was considered for the role of Ian Malcolm.
Oh God, no!
Boy, I'm so glad we got. I like Jim Carrey, I really do, but I'm so glad we got Jeff Goldblum.
However,
again, Jeremy, this is one of those. What if we would have looked back and be like, "Hey guys, tidbit fact: Jeff Goldblum almost played Ian Malcolm." We'd be like, "Nope, sorry, Jim Carrey." The whole way. But then again, I feel like thinking back on it, it would just be Ace Ventura goes to Jurassic Park the whole time. Smoking. No, dude, stop. It's a serious scene here. Are you sure?
He did the steam coming out the dinosaur dog, and he'd be like, smoking. I don't know. He'd be out there in that fucking Hawaiian ass shirt too with his big hair.
Remember to wash your hands before you eat.
And she just walks away. Oh, righty then. Oh no, she puts on the glove to go in there, and he goes, "I got a glove." I don't know. I can't.
Just remember to wash your hands before you eat anything.
So
always hangs his mouth.
One more interesting casting note, and we'll get out of here. And I hate to end on such a downer, but it's an interesting story. I think you had done a video about Dodgson returning to the next film, being the one who actually owns Biogen now. You guys know what I'm talking about. The guy who plays Dodgson in this film, Jurassic Park, who Nedry is an asshole to while he's stuffing his face full of food, is played by an actor named Cameron Thor. Cameron Thor, the reason why he's not returning to play the same character in this is because he's actually kind of in prison. He did a bad thing. On June 4th,
he was trying to look like a secret agent.
He was. On June 4th, 2014, he was charged with sexual assault of a 13-year-old girl by the LA County Sheriff's Office. Ooh. And after, a trial that went on and whatever, he was sentenced to 6 years in state prison on April 27th of 2016. So his career's kind of over, and that's why we're going to see, I forget who it is that's playing, let me go back and look real quick. Go back who's playing Dodgson. I swear it's an actor I know. I know his name.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that when he sat down at the prison lunch table, somebody went, Dodgson, we got Dodgson here. Like, please tell me
somebody put, as a prank, probably put Barbasol on his fucking pie. Like, yeah,
somebody
bitch, eat that.
Please.
You're the reason Jurassic Park failed, you
Let me
prick.
look and see if it's the same guy playing Dodgson that I think it is. Yes, it's Campbell Scott. Campbell Scott is actually playing Dr. Lewis Dodgson in this movie. He is the CEO of Biosyn Genetics, a rival company of InGen. The character was previously played by Cameron Thor in Jurassic Park 1993. Campbell Scott's actually an actor I like a lot. He was in, what's he been in? He was in that show, Hank Med. What the hell was it called? That one was on USA for a while. He played the crazy rich guy. He also was in House of Cards with Kevin Spacey, the Netflix version with Kevin Spacey.
Oof. Well, that's an oof, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're talking about Kevin Spacey.
Hey,
oh boy!
Did you hear that Kevin Spacey is actually signed on to play a role?
What? Yeah,
Kevin
he's kind of
he's signed on to play in a movie. It's a smaller movie, of course. It's not a big movie, but
okay.
He's going to be back in back in front of the camera.
His career kind of went back in full circle when the kid who came out and said, "Oh, because of the whole Me Too bullshit," he came out and was like, "Well, okay, to be honest with you guys, I was fully consenting to what happened when that many years ago." I just wanted to join in the Me Too bullshit.
Oh, well.
So when they did that,
They-
Kevin was more looked at as
Humans,
whoops.
humans ruin everything.
Human beings fuck everything up.
We
All
had
this cool
something
shit in the
great
world,
and
humans
they
dinosaurs.
fucked it up.
humans always ruin it.
I
Why
know,
we
just
need
like
more
this whole
dinosaurs.
movie. Dinosaurs, and then we fucked it up.
Did we though? Because now we have dinosaur movies.
That's true.
I meant them in that universe of the movie. We're like, hey, now we're gonna make dinosaurs, and that was a great idea.
Well, that seems like a pretty good place to wrap everything up. It's been a long stream. We haven't gone too much longer than what I planned on going. It hasn't been so terrible. I do want to thank my amazing co-host for coming on here today. Lady Cora, again, will hopefully be back next week. She did have a little storm roll through and cause some chaos, but she's safe, she's happy, she's ready to go for next week already, we believe. So she'll be back next week to go over all the stuff with us. And until then, my hetero life mate Jeremy, where can the folks find you on the internet?
I'm always here. I'm always here on Thursdays and Mondays when we do brand new movie releases. I'm also on my own Twitch channel, Grim Tuesday 23. I'm on there on Tuesdays for sure, doing Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga with Rachel. I'm also on Twitter, Grim Tuesday 23. That's probably the best place to find any updates if I decide to feel frisky and go live on a Wednesday or something, whatever. I don't know if I have a free night to do something. Also, I've actually been doing a couple. Where's he on the screen? Is he down here? I've a couple more things with this guy down here.
Other way.
That way.
I'm
You're doing okay.
up slightly and this way slightly.
Yeah, okay, I'm backwards. He's down there. The one with the one with the claw. Doing a couple things with him, actually. This is weirdly a little preview, given what we're wearing. If you can't obviously tell, I'm Ian Malcolm today, and he's Alan Grant. I just pointed the wrong way again. On my screen, he's up here, and Frank's up here, so whatever. We're going to be doing some stuff over on his channel, too, so I'll be looking forward to coming down the pipe. And that's it for me, I think.
He is Grim Tuesday 23 across all platforms. Go find him. And to our guest today, the Brooding Gamer, where can the folks find you on the internet? Give us a brief little synopsis of your channel and what you do.
I do dinosaur stuff. You guys can find me at Brooding Gamer. I almost said broodinggamer.com, and I don't know why.
Like a website, you can
Brooding Gamer on YouTube. All right. My thumbnail is
Oh crap! Did we lose him?
He did say his phone was dying.
Oh no!
That sucks.
Oh no! At least he got it out there.
Well, if his phone did just die, we did just lose him for the rest of the stream. That is unfortunate, but the link to his channel is in the description below. It's down there with Casey's Raw's link and with the Rose's link. So go down there where it says, if you're into gaming, go check these out. His link is down there. Go check him out as well. As for me, you can find me here every Thursday going over all the cool stuff that is happening in and around the world of entertainment movies. You can also find me on Sundays over on the Derailed News and Podcast, link in the description below, where we go over all the other craziness that's going on in the world around us, the more heavier news topics. Thanks to everybody who was in the chat today. There was a bunch of you, again, really good viewership as we got later on in the show. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. Thank you, everybody who voted. Apparently, 93% of the 15 votes said that they think Jurassic Park was a good movie, and one troll said, meh. Nobody said it was bad because, there's nobody stupid that watches this channel. I want to thank everybody that came to hang out with us. Thank you very much. Lady Cora will be back next week. And until then, we'll see you guys later.